The Angry Black Girl and Her Monster.
Okay, I didn't get a chance to see
You
that
didn't
one,
see that one?
but it's like a Frankenstein. She creates a monster out of her dead brother, and it's a urban kind of a legend story. So it looks pretty good.
We got streaming things coming up too. We've got our movie news, and we've got the commissioner herself is going to be joining us. The commissioner of the Utah State Film Commission will be here. It's always fun to have Virginia Pierce on tap.
She's wonderful.
I think we're going to have to do telephone torture while she's here because I love the way she interacts and plays into it. She goes, "I knew that."
Kind of like Blake does.
She just, yeah. No, Blake weeps when we have a loser.
She's like, no.
I know, no, a loser. We can't have losers. All right, and what else are we going to be doing? We've got the movie show Top 10 and a whole lot more. And Telephone Torture has spectacular, fabulous prizes worth up to dollars from the Megaplex theaters in 3 different categories. One includes Dear Old Dad.
Yeah, if you don't pick the Dear
And
Old
honestly,
Dad
if you don't pick that, what is wrong with you?
We got to do some math on that one.
This is a very special program today, Steve.
It is. We're very honored.
And, I mean, Gail Miller is here with us. And, Gail, it really is an honor to have you here. One of my final movie shows. After this one, there's only 3 to go.
Well, Doug, it's such a pleasure to be here and be part of your program.
Over the now many, many years that I've been in broadcasting, it's amazing how many times my broadcast path has crossed with the Miller family. And
True.
It has just been wonderful, going back to when I first met Larry and then got to know you better and your kids better. It's been a great, great legacy. And to be here, back here at the Jordan Commons Theater, almost 23 years now.
Wow.
Wow. Is it 24?
Yeah, 24.
Almost
next
24.
Yeah, next year will be our 25th anniversary.
Yeah. Blake is here with us.
Seems like yesterday.
It does seem like yesterday. Almost every time I'm here, we reflect that we were out in the hallway, kind of as you come up the main concourse toward what used to be the ticket office, and still to a degree is. But we were there, set up on a broadcast not dissimilar to this. Larry was sitting basically where you're sitting, and we were talking about what he was doing, what he wanted this theater chain to become. And I say this, and it was literally true. They were still sweeping the floors, getting it ready for the opening that
That's
weekend.
the way he did things.
It was remarkable. And I've always teased Blake, we could weasel all kinds of things out of Larry. Would say,
He's
well,
a softie.
we go, well, what's next, Larry? And he would just spill his guts.
I remember when he said, I want to build a racetrack out in Tooele. We're like, sure.
Yeah.
That sounds
and when
like
he said, I'd like to have, 70 to 100 screens at one time. And Steve and I kind of look at each other going, yeah, okay.
Well, it is Larry Miller.
Good luck on that.
Yeah. Now I think we have, 179?
That's great.
I know. Isn't it? It is simply amazing. Gail, as you look at what particularly the theaters have become, I mean, the LHM legacy is just, we could talk for hours and hours and hours about it, but since this is the movie show, he always referred to, and when I've talked to you, you've said the same thing, that going to a movie was a big deal for you and Larry.
Oh, absolutely. We lived in the downtown area and had no car, very little money. The only thing that we could do that was a diversion from walks was go to a movie.
Yeah.
And we would always have to dig for the last penny to buy the tickets.
Reaching into the couch, huh?
You're right.
Yeah. When I look at Jordan Commons, this is such a unique theater. I mean, and the way it has been maintained over the years, updated over the years, it is every bit as revolutionary today as it was when it opened back in 1999. But the one thing that still tickles me to this day, because I'm of the generation, I look at the Gem, I look at the Uptown, I look at the Rialto, I look at all of these names that are the theaters that my friends, I lived in Sugar House, so we'd have to, weasel a bus token out of my grandmother. And my friend Ross and I, or whomever, we would go downtown, we'd go to the Uptown, we'd see a Jerry Lewis movie there or whatever.
Well, that's what this was built after.
Yeah.
The memories that we had as kids going to movies. That's exactly what happened here.
I remember on that initial broadcast that we did from here that Larry said, we're going to keep these theaters clean. There's going to be no sticking to the floor. And by the way, we're going to serve food. And again, Steve and I look at each other like, you're going to serve food? Really? And
Yeah.
now, look, you are the trendsetter.
Well, no sticky floors, no squeaky seats, good sight lines. be able to see the screen from every seat. I mean, he had vision, but
Yeah.
it came out of what we encountered when we went to movies. You know, you'd get on the floor or walk on the floor, your feet would stick.
I know. And if you ever dropped anything, you hardly
Yeah.
dared put your hand
Right.
down.
So,
We can all remember those good old days. As you think about the theaters in particular, you know, what are some of your fondest things? What have you enjoyed most about having this legacy under your family's name?
well, I think it's like everything we've done. The joy comes from bringing enjoyment to others and being able to say, we did something that people can go to and feel good about and have a night out with their family and see a movie that's worth seeing. So
Right.
those are the things that mean a lot and did to Larry. And we've continued that legacy, and hopefully it will go on for a long, long time.
I've been so impressed not only with the growth. Growth is good, but growth for growth's sake. Edward Abbey used to say that's kind of the philosophy of a cancer cell. It has to be growth with a purpose.
Right.
And what the purpose has been and what you have done. I look at just the innovation right now. It's summertime, and we're going to celebrate that, by the way, in the telephone torture segment, the summertime theme of movies. But during the summer, what you do for kids, you know, I brought this in a little while ago. I showed it to Jeff the Whipple and also to Blake, and it was my pass to the Villa Theater, because all of the Highland Drive merchants would, you know, if you came into their
Right.
store and bought something, then they'd give you a ticket to go to the Villa Theater on a Saturday morning and see a movie. You guys have taken that concept to a whole new level. And I look at how sensitive that is and what you've brought. It's amazing.
Well, I give credit to Blake. He is a person who gets it.
Yeah.
He knows where the meaning is and how to apply it so that it reaches those who really can make something out of it.
It's not even just the traditional Saturday movie, but the care that you put into it, how affordable it is. And for people who it's even hard to afford $1.
Yeah.
You know, they're accommodated as well. The sensory, that has so impressed me too in these theaters, because, you know, we're in an era where we really are trying to care more about those who have some interesting challenges or just are a little different.
That's true.
Boy, to have a theater where the lights are up a little bit, the sound is turned down a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, when we were kids, who would have thought of that?
Well, and you know, hearing deficits, I mean, across the board, all the things that can make it enjoyable for the masses, we try to do. And it all comes from Blake. He's just masterful.
She gives me way too much credit.
No.
You know, you do have an amazing crew.
We do.
And we've seen them from the very, very beginning. The people who manage your theaters, and we have some very, very dear friends that we met through the Larry H. Miller Megaplex theaters. And I think of those, you know, who are in your marketing department, those who book your movies over the years. Boy, that's a gift in and of itself.
Yeah, they are so dedicated, and we're grateful.
Where do you want to see the theater chain go?
Well, ideally, it would continue in a vibrant way, and we'll continue to draw in people. I think we're bringing them back. I know there was some worry about, are they going to go to streaming, but I think we're bringing fans back into the theater. I think that happens because it's a way to get out of the house and go be in a place where you are immersed in something other than your everyday cares. And you can enjoy the lights down, your popcorn, just forgetting everything else and enjoying the evening.
Isn't that important? That's been such an important part. I watched the movie Chaplin again the other night. I hadn't seen it for a while. And, you know, it was one of those you're surfing the channels, and it came up. And I remember in the introduction when he was receiving his Academy Award after having been in exile, literally, that they said that he was master of the art form of the 20th century. And it was and still is. But, boy, when you think of the dawn of movies and what they have become, it truly was the art form of the 20th century. And the way it is continuing into the 21st century right now is just remarkable. Your description, too, you know, you mentioned when you and Larry were basically couch fishing to find the money that you could go see a movie, and we've all been in that situation at one time or another as a kid and so on. But even during the Great Depression, the historians tell us, David McCullough tells us, that people would scrape up the money. the 10 cents, the 15 cents, the 35 cents for a big movie.
Right.
You know, and they would go and they would see that during the Great Depression just for the very experience and escape you mentioned.
Right. And it's so important. You have to have something to change your to move you out of the day-to-day difficulties that are coming along. And I think life is getting even more hard with all of the social media challenges and the things that we deal with now. So we're just grateful to be able to provide a way for people to do that.
It is truly amazing. Our mutual friend here on the movie show, Sean Means, who has written for the Tribune for so long, I remember once we were talking movies and he was expressing, and he said, you know, movies are meant to be seen communally with people you know and don't know, in the dark, bigger than life. And it's a communal experience. It should be.
That's a great visual.
Yeah. Gail, you know, I've been reflecting a lot over the 55 years that I've been in broadcasting, the 45 years at KSL. And, you know, one of the things I'm going to miss the most when those crossroads do occur, and I have the chance to be with people such as yourself and Larry and your family, and it has truly been a joy. And you guys have done a lot of great things, not only for the community, but for me.
Well, Doug, it takes all of us, and you will be missed. You are a legend. And I think of you, and I think of stability and common sense and the ability to explain things in a way that are understandable and bring the opposing views together. I think you've just been masterful. So thank you for what you've done and for your career.
Oh, that is so kind of you. You know, one of my unrequited things, and I've told you about this, I was driving down to Eureka one night with my mom, and cell phones were not new, but they weren't anywhere near as sophisticated as they are now. And I was just on a sweet spot on the west side of Utah Lake driving down to Eureka, and I looked and I didn't recognize the number, and I took it and pulled over, and I said, hello, and he goes, hi, Doug, this is Larry Miller. I went, first of all, you know, dumb. I thought, well, how did he get my number? Well, Larry could get anybody's number, you know. I mean, and he said, hey, I've got this racetrack out in Tooele, and I'd like to invite you to come out and really put some of the Mustangs to the test. You know, come out and drive.
I hope you did.
And I didn't. We just never put it together.
Oh, that's a shame.
It was just unrequited.
That was something he loved to do, was share that with special friends.
And that's what's so amazing, is the range and the vision of your family and the things that you've been into and the things that you are going now. I mean, every conversation about baseball lately has been, has had your name
Is that
attached
crazy
to
or
it.
what?
No, I think of course it's crazy, but so was, the Utah Jazz, and so was this movie theater, and so many other things that you and Larry and your great family have done. Gail, I'm honored to know you, and I'm really honored that you'd be here today.
Well, thank you. It's my honor, Doug.
It means more to me than you know.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
And I wish you well. I just hope the rest of your life is everything you want it to be.
And did you notice, Gail, I never brought up to Gail, Blake, the Eureka Microplex.
I'm so glad you did.
Oh,
yeah.
I had an answer.
You did? Okay,
Yeah,
well, let's talk about the Microplex. We're thinking maybe a 72-inch screen.
I think no is the answer.
Portable. That's right. We've already been the portable route. Gail, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Doug. It's been my pleasure.
Gail Miller with us here on The Movie Show. Let's take a break. We'll be right back, and we've got the big movie review of the week. Stay with us.
Last summer was killer.
We had 34 days of 100-degree temperatures.
And this year,
we're not going to have a summer like 2022. That is such an anomaly. To repeat that twice, it's unheard of.
Get a reliable forecast as temperatures rise and storms move in. Listen for traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 9s. It's on. Mornings and afternoons on KSL News Radio. Your all-summer companion for news.
Want to annihilate payroll problems? Wipe them out with Paycom. Paycom torches timesheet errors like a flamethrower. Oh, obliterates overtime blunders like a wrecking ball. Holy mackerel! And PTO problems? Paycom leaves them pulverized. Wow! Because with Paycom, employees do their own payroll right in the Paycom app. They find and fix errors before payroll submission, so HR can tackle important stuff, like performance incentives and retaining top producers, so your people can crush their goals. And with Paycom, employees enter and manage their own HR info, like onboarding, tax setup, and benefits enrollment. It's all in one powerful software with ironclad security. Stop doing that! Sick of HR and payroll headaches? Don't just eliminate them. Demolish them! At Paycom.com.
With the economy the way it is, you're probably staying put. So invest in your home, your number one asset, with beautiful custom replacement windows from Advanced Window Products. They're a local Utah company building beautiful vinyl framed and insulated double pane windows for 37 years right here in Salt Lake City. Advanced Window Products will save you money on your energy bill. Get security features to keep your family safe. And at Advanced Window Products, it's all custom. And the best part? They're local. They build the windows, they install the windows, and they guarantee them for life. So there's no middleman markup. You save on the highest quality windows in Utah. Plus, Rocky Mountain and Dominion offer rebates. For a limited time, they offer 60-month 0% financing. And right now, get $2,000 off 10 windows or more. They're working 8 weeks out. So make the call now. Advanced Window Products, 801-850-9100. That's 801-850-9100, or visit AdvancedWindowsUSA.com.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
Movie reviews and Hollywood news. The KSL Movie Show.
Wow, I'll tell you, Blake, that was a real treat.
Wasn't it?
Gail Miller stop by.
I have the honor and privilege to getting to spend a little bit of time with Gail and the Miller family, and it is always such a treat to be with her.
You know, it's amazing. I'm still just in awe that she'd take the time to come out. And I remember each and every opening of every theater. This one primarily, of course. But the one I remember kind of second to this one was Ogden.
Yeah.
And first of all, there's such a great story there with Mayor Godfrey and Larry. And, I mean, basically, Matt Godfrey just said, I'm going to go sit in the office until I can see him face to face, because he's the key to the rebuilding of downtown Ogden.
Yeah, you think what that did to that whole area. It was blight before that.
Absolutely.
It's still thriving.
Absolutely. Yeah. But the other thing I remember, Larry would always catch me off guard. And I remember they were up there, and you had that great big, reel of 70 millimeter film. And he was up there, and he just looked over, because we'd been doing a broadcast just like this. And he said, Doug, come on up here. And he say a few things. I'm going, good grief. Boy, talk about, being called out of the congregation, right. As it were.
Well, Doug, I know how much you mean to the Miller family, and what you mean to the community. And I think it's quite an honor that Gail would come here and honor you that way today, and wish you the very best. And
I'm deeply touched. I really am. And, it's kind of interesting. It's kind of a bookend. The first time I ever did a show here with Steve, of course, was with Larry Miller.
Yeah.
And, this won't be the last, because we're going to do a special edition of the movie show.
Jeff was telling me that. That's great.
On Thursday night, the 29th, on the 29th. But basically, the last kind of regular movie show was with Gail. The first movie show at the Megaplex Theaters was with Larry. And I think
it's pretty special.
I think of the Miller family that's been kind of out at Vineyard. We were there with Greg and everything. Just fond memories. Boy, you've got a big weekend of movies. Holy smoke, a Pixar movie and The Flash. Good grief.
It's exciting and good movies. It's fun to see so many people coming back and the movie's doing well. And it's just, there's just an energy, and it feels like the summer of days gone by that, people are back. Summer movies are back. It's just a fun environment.
And, this is something I didn't mention when Gail was here, the things that you guys do to really make movies affordable. But every time there is a screening at a Megaplex theater on a Tuesday night, I almost want to go, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I wanted to take an Uber. I couldn't even find a parking space.
Tuesdays has just been a wonderful thing. We started that here. A friend of mine back east said, that their theater chain was experimenting with it, and we brought it here. And it's just spread, and I just think it's a really fun night. It's like a weekend night now.
It is, and and I love seeing the families come in, and little kids, big tub of popcorn, and they can afford an evening like this. This is great. The tickets are only $5. We can get everything, and you can just see that. It's almost like you get them out of central casting. I want the kid who looks like they're just dying to see the movie. I want a big tub of popcorn. I want mom and dad going, hey, holding hands with the kids walking in. It's like Rockwell painting.
It is, and I think you and Gail talked a little bit about this, but we really want movies to be for everyone.
Yeah.
And for some, the regular price is still very affordable, because if you think about outside entertainment, going to a professional game or an opera or a play or anything else, movie tickets are still very affordable. But we also realize if you have a big family, even at that, it's a little tough sometimes.
That's right.
And so Tuesdays, our matinees, our summer kids series, just allow everyone to be able to get out into the movie theater and have that communal experience you and Gail talked about.
Absolutely. We're going to be talking more with our friends at the Megaplex Theaters throughout the morning here at KSL News Radio. Let's take a break here for our news. I'm almost on time.
Close.
This is close enough.
That's way earlier than normal.
Oh, thank you. He always is there to just rat me out.
Gotta love Steve.
They're running to the booth. I can just see them.
That's right. They're going, oh, shoot, he's on time. We better start running. 9:30 here at KSL News Radio. We'll be right back with more of the movie show from Jordan Commons Megaplex Theaters.
Good morning, I'm Amanda Dixon. KSL's top story this hour is breaking news. Attorney General Merrick Garland is out with a scathing report against the Minneapolis Police Department. Garland announced the investigation the day after a former Minneapolis police officer was convicted in connection to the killing of George Floyd. CNN's Evan Perez says the report reviewed 19 police shootings between 2016 and 2022.
A significant portion of them were unconstitutional uses of deadly force. They said that there were shootings of people who were not really, before they even were any kind of threat to any officers. In some cases, they were just a threat to themselves.
The report says Minneapolis police are 6 times more likely to use force against blacks in traffic stops than whites. We have more breaking news now on KSL News Radio. A jury has reached a verdict in a Pittsburgh synagogue mass shooting trial. Jurors started deliberating yesterday in the trial of the man accused of killing 11 worshipers at the Tree of Life Synagogue in 2018. We should get a clearer idea of what the verdict is here within the next hour. A new CDC report shows suicides and homicides are on the rise in young people. These rates are going up faster in Utah than most of the country. The Utah State Board of Education says between 2011 and 2015, Utah saw suicides go up by 141%. That's almost 6 times the national average. Your money at this moment, the Dow is off just a fraction, down 0.02%. It's just 8 points. We're at 34,404. And coming up, a warm-up just in time for Father's Day. KSL Weather is next. KSL News Time, 9:32. This summer, the political season heats up.
By August, it'll be time for debates. Can you believe it?
We're planning coverage of the real issues, the important stories that impact how we live.
Listen each morning from 5 to 9 on KSL News Radio.
Well, I talk about a long-range experiment, but, Connecticut pointed this out to me, and there are those who have actually done this. But imagine if you were to put two water softeners in your home and take 2 of the traditional water heaters and connect them. Connect one to a soft water system like Connecticut and don't connect the other one. See which one lasts the longest. The water heater, this is the great thing about Kinetico. First of all, there are the obvious things that we will all notice each and every day. You'll notice it in the dishwasher. All those additives that you're buying right now so there won't be spots and so on. You'll be surprised how much less of that, if any at all, you have to use in your system once you put in Kinetico. You'll notice a difference when you wash your clothes. You'll notice a difference in the shower, just the way you feel, particularly in wintertime. And it's still a big factor right now, but mostly in wintertime, the dry and itchy skin that so many of us feel in the wintertime because we're sealed up in our homes and heating up the already dry air, the Kinetico soft water system will make a huge difference. But think about this, and it's kind of the unseeable, the unfeelable thing, unless you want to do a 10-year experiment on this. But what it's doing to and for your entire plumbing system, each of your appliances that utilize water, it makes a huge, huge difference. 10-year warranty from Kinetico, 2/3 less salt than other water softeners. You're going to love it. It's all mechanical. When there's a little power bump in the neighborhood, you don't need to reset anything. You can learn more about Kinetico by just giving them a call at 801-576-8600, 576-8600, or you can log on to softwaterutah.com.
Calling all Utah locals. See the Southwest by rail on board Rocky Mountaineer. They've extended their latest offer until June 30th. Save up to $1,200 per couple. Visit RockyMountaineer.com to book.
Hey, Derek Overstreet here from the New Millennium Group, financial advisors in Utah. I've been helping people retire in the state of Utah for the last 20 years. The way we do that is we actually find out what is important to you. We create a step-by-step plan that takes into consideration your income, your debt, whether you want money from real estate, stock market, annuities, life insurance, whatever. If you want to deal with professionals, people that are fiduciaries and have a legal responsibility and obligation to do what's in your best interest, give my team a call at 888-999-6370. That's 888-999-6370. Or go to my website, utahsfinancialplanner.com. If you'd like to retire 3 to 5 years before you thought it was possible, give my team a call right now. 888-999-6370. That's 888-999-6370.
Traffic and weather together, brought to you by Granite Credit Union's high yield savings certificates. And here's Jason Jones.
An absolutely pleasant looking commute out there with no accidents to speak of. And if you are traveling northbound or southbound on I-15 between Payson and Ogden, you're not going to find any delays or any problems at all. Looking good up into all of your canyons, Parley's Canyon, no problems up into Weber Canyon or Sardine Canyon, and looking good on 201 and I-80 in and out of Tooele, no problems there. Around the belt route, we're not finding any delays. It's just fantastic pretty much everywhere you look at this point. Seasoned gardeners know that beautiful landscapes are made with colorful bedding plants like the flowers grown by Olson's Greenhouse. Visit OGG.com to find out where to buy Olson's plants. I'm Jason Jones in the KSL Traffic Center.
And KSL weather now mostly sunny with highs in the mid-70s today. Warmer through the weekend. We'll get up to 90 by Father's Day Sunday. And right now it's 64 degrees at KSL News Radio, 102.7 FM, 1160 AM, and KSLNewsRadio.com, your all-day companion for news.
And now, the big movie review. Doug and Steve tell you everything your family needs to know about the biggest release of the week.
Doug, Steve, Andy, and Dawn are going to be weighing in on the movie we're going to talk about right now. Let's get a little soundbite from The Flash.
Flash!
Hi.
I love you.
Thank you.
I need you here now, Barry. So you're saying you could travel back in time?
But Bruce, I could fix things. I could save people. I could save my mom. I could save your parents.
You could also destroy everything.
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
And when Michael Keaton says you want to get nuts as
do
Batman, it's time to really get nuts. Now, see, I've always known that you can go back in time because I watched George Reeves as Superman, and when something was really going crazy in the world, he would fly backwards and turn the world around and take us back in time. This is not a new concept. Am I right or am I right, Don?
That's absolutely correct. Superman's been turning back time for, 50 years, 60
so now,
years.
the Flash, who can go as fast as he can he fly? Can he run as fast as Superman can fly, Don?
So there is a comic in which they tried to settle that, and let's just say they did not end it.
They did not. So this is an ongoing controversy.
My son, who's the Flash fan, he and I have this argument probably monthly.
Who's faster, the Flash or Superman? Don Brinkerhoff, of course, is here with us, and I was mentioning to Blake, prior to Andy's ascension to, co-hosting the movie show here in a couple of weeks, he was always our Marvel guy, right?
Yes.
And we'd marvel at his amazing knowledge. And you were the DC guy.
Yep.
And we'd always count on you to do a little splaining on some of the things that were happening. And so, this one is a real interesting movie because we've got the Flash, but we've got all kinds of things going on here because, we're getting into in the Marvel Universe, it's called the multiverse.
Well, they call it that in both DC and Marvel.
But all of a sudden, we're in different verses, as it were, with different, there is an homage at the end of this movie that takes us into the Superman realm that honestly almost choked me up, especially when I saw the Superman I grew up with, and that was George Reeves.
Yeah, when there is an homage, and you see pretty much all of them, I think.
Except for
the current. Wait, he's not current anymore.
Yeah.
Well, you see his back, supposedly.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting
it's
because
CGI.
because George brings back, the memories of my childhood, and then kind of the rebirth of Superman for someone new, Christopher Reeves. And of course, with Christopher Reeves, there's just such a legacy and bravery in the movies and in his personal life that touches you. And so, although the homage on the Flash. I mean, was he wearing a helmet that was made out of his dad's Studebaker, hubcap?
So that's Jay Garrick, who was the original Flash back in the 50s and a little bit after that.
A little bit after that, yeah. Well, let's talk about kind of the overall story here, Steve, because the Flash is kind of dealing with some things, and there's some things that make him want to turn time back.
Right. I mean, most of us know the origin story and the fact that the Flash's mother has passed away, and it's been a few years. But his father is in prison for the murder of the mom, and of course, he didn't do it.
We have a different dad in this movie, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we do.
Ron Livingston was one of them.
Yeah, and now it's somebody anyway. So he's always struggled with that, and that's why he got into forensics, is because he wanted to prove his dad's innocence. So that's the core story here. But then when he realizes that he can go back in time, then the temptation is, I want to go back and save Mom.
Yeah.
But what happens if you do that? There's always that butterfly effect. The ramifications of doing that may alter the universe in a way that's probably not a good thing.
Well, and Doc Brown taught us that, right? I mean, you don't want to mess with the space-time continuum. Am I right?
Well, yeah, because you never know what you'll change. You change one thing and different things. And it was really funny. This doesn't give too much away, but at one point they specifically debunked the Endgame time travel theory. I thought that was kind of funny, the DC movie poking fun at the Marvel time travel theory.
Well, and then there's the factor, again, that Doc Brown, warned us about, is you don't want to meet yourself in the past. That's a real no-no, and that becomes a real no-no.
Well, actually, I think it's a very clever device. I mean, you've seen the trailer. You see that there are two Barrys, and the one Barry that was younger, he was always obnoxious. So you've got the wiser Barry making fun of the younger Barry, which is all what we've been wanting to say. This guy's a jerk. He's been a jerk. Ezra Miller plays him beautifully, by the way, both of them. But I thought that was a really nice way of showing us that, the young Barry was a jerk, and we're going to call him out on it. I thought that was a really nice way to show that.
Yeah. There are so many things, and again, we need to be careful when we're talking about it because we don't want to give stuff away. But there were some real surprise moments for me too, in the Batman category, in the Superman category, in the interaction between the different verses, as it were. I have to admit, I like this movie. I didn't know what to expect because sometimes when they start getting so complex, but this one didn't lose me like some of the superhero movies have. This one I tracked fairly well. Dee liked it too. I like this movie. It's a good solid 3.5 star movie from me.
The only thing that bugs me a little bit is the multiverse allows you to do stuff with stories that it just sometimes feels like it's manipulative writing. Well, we don't like how that went, so let's go and create a new universe where that's different. It drives me nuts, especially when you get to the last scene in that movie and you're like, what? What's going on here? So I was a little confused, but I was entertained.
You're talking about
absolutely entertained.
Universe crossover?
Well, yeah, a little bit of that.
Okay.
And but I'll have to admit, though, the visuals, I mean, even that opening scene, and I know people are whining about the CGI babies, but I'm glad they didn't look real, because that would have freaked me out.
There's one line in here where he goes, a baby shower. And I just went, all of a sudden, it took the horror out of it for me. And I don't want to say, but I have to tell you, there is a scene where a dog is dropping through the air, and his tongue is going. I just sat there and laughed my butt off at this dog and the expressions on his face, his lips flapping and his tongue lolling out in every direction known to mankind.
But I thought when Batman, that was so visually just when he's driving that his little motorcycle thing, and it's just you're right there alongside of him. I thought the visuals were absolutely stunning, so I love that part of it.
Okay, because we're going to let Don have the last word because he is the DC guy. But so what's the grade?
I give it a B.
A B.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well, the flip side of the multiverse thing is that it also allows you to tell the stories forever because you don't have the worry of the actors aging out, which is really the concern when you're going to make the movies. But for me, the highlight was seeing Batman again, seeing Michael Keaton's Batman. I mean, I'm personally of the opinion that they gave way too much away in the trailers that would have been funner to discover on the screen in the theater with everybody else. But for me, it was a 3-star movie. Ezra Miller did so good that you forget that it's the same guy playing both.
Yeah.
I mean, Michael Keaton multiplicity level of doing it well. And so those were definite positives for me. And it was one of the better, it's not the best superhero movie of all time, but it's certainly one of the best that we've had in a while.
But in multiplicity, you don't want to be the third copy.
No, you don't want to be the copy of the copy.
My favorite line is, Pizza Steve? And he folds it up in his wallet. Okay, Don, you are so we're 3 stars, 3 stars, 3 to 3.5 from me. Why am I the guy that's liking this more than you geeks are?
I know, that is upsetting.
I can't say until everyone has seen it.
It's the dog lolling scene that sold me.
Okay.
And the baby.
And that's in the closing credits. They do an extra long close-up special with it.
It is spectacular. Don, you're the definitive word.
Okay. I'm with these guys, Doug. This is a 3. The reason it's not a 3.5 or even a 3.5 plus for me
is
there were 2 things.
One, there's Superman.
Well, there's always never enough Superman.
Yeah.
One was there's a pretty shocking scene. Don't take your young kids to this. There's a scene, and they could have done it a little differently. I just thought they took that scene a little bit far. You know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And number 2
have to do with kind of an earthquake in a building.
No, I'm
it has
talking
to do
about
with
clothing and friction.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And Andy and I were talking about this the morning after the show, and he said, "Well, I was actually okay because I'd forgotten about it until you brought it back up. Thanks."
Yeah. You've got to have a special suit to go that fast.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
The other one is this is like the 4th or 5th time we've seen this story. Comic book readers. We've seen it. We've seen the graphic. There's 2 or 3 animateds that essentially take the same storyline, and so it's like, really, Warner Brothers? Is there no one at DC that has a new idea?
Yeah.
Other than that, I laughed out loud.
Well, see, that's the nice thing about me being so oblivious on this stuff. It's all new to me.
Well, it was funnier. There's no question.
It was
one of the funnier movies.
Yeah.
From DC, absolutely. Yeah.
I laughed out loud. I admit
cried.
I teared up.
Yeah.
There's definitely a tear up. Wonderful movie, and as you said, the visuals. They finally got somebody moving at super speed right. And I love how his speed isn't just a constant. It's, I'm going really fast, or I'm going kind of fast, or I'm going normal speed.
I love it when he's running out of gas. And hears all this terror and things happen around him, and he goes over and he breaks into the candy machine
because he's out of calories. So yeah, I loved it. It was a wonderful.
Did I hear he
jump
loved
into the DC universe? But because of those two things, I have to come back.
And we need to mention that as we are listening to Don, for those of you who are viewing this online, Don is in his. I always tease him when he's running the movie show back at the studio that he sits there in his jammies and everything else.
There it is.
Well, he's in his Superman outfit today. I'm going to call it an outfit
it's
today.
Jammies, Doug.
They
really are jammies.
He's got the little curly Q on his hair, and you got the red boots on, too.
Yes.
And
I had to look a long time to find red boots in my size.
I thought they had the Merry Maids at their house, and somebody just left theirs behind. I wasn't sure. So,
cut the toes out, stick them in.
It looks good, Don.
Thanks.
It looks good. Yeah. All right. Well, there we have. We've talked about The Flash.
Yeah, people go.
Go. It's a great movie.
It's fun.
Even though you guys are not seeing it with the great oblivious vision that I am, because I liked it better than you guys, it's a popcorn movie.
Oh, it's a summer blockbuster.
Yeah, it's a summertime blockbuster popcorn movie. All right, so it is The Flash. All right, let's take a break, and we'll come right back with more of the movie show. It is 9:49.
Here's an idea from your neighbor at Hercules Credit Union. Invest in you, right? Because all this time, the equity in your home has grown and grown and, well, grown. So think about a few changes to help it grow even more. Right now, the rates on a Hercules home equity line of credit is 3.99% for 6 months. 3.99%. That's the perfect way to invest in yourself. So you can get started on the maintenance projects you've been putting off for so long, like going solar, repurposing the basement, or use it to pay off high-interest debt, or maybe just go on a much-needed vacation. Hercules will loan up to 80% loan-to-value on your home. And it's all so simple to access with your Hercules Visa card. No need to call or come in. It's just that easy. You know why? Because that's the Hercules way. Get details at HerculesCU.com. HerculesCU.com. Hercules Credit Union. It's neighbors helping neighbors.
Okay, now I might have a dog in this fight, so take that into consideration. But is the perfect place to take Dad for Father's Day? Is it Ruth's Chris Steakhouse or is it Ruth's Chris Steakhouse? And the reason I mention that twice is you do have a choice. Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, Hotel Park City. Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, downtown Salt Lake City. Maybe you're going to take Dad to see The Flash, or maybe you're going to take him to see Elemental. Or maybe you're going to take him to, catch up on one of the super movies that are out right now. Downtown Salt Lake City, perfect place to do that. And then go over to 275 Southwest Temple, and there's a Ruth's Chris Steakhouse right there. Maybe you're going to head up into the mountains and kind of enjoy the alpine setting, or go golfing with dear old Dad, and then go to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Hotel Park City is perfect for that, and the food is amazing. Celebrate Dad with Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. And, odds are right now, if you were to call for a reservation, I don't know, but it might be a little tough. So the thing to do is drop by Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and get the gift card and put it in the card, or, attach it to the tie that you're going to give dear old Dad. Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. The way Dad's taken care of, he doesn't have to grill his own steak. I know he thinks he does a pretty good job on steaks, and maybe he does, but the operative words there, pretty good. It is beyond comprehension at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. And they have other things, too. Seafood, poultry, and the desserts, and you don't have to do, and the side dishes, you don't have to do any of the preparation. You don't have to do any of the cleanup. It's going to be the perfect way to celebrate your dad at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse.
Bish's RV has the best customers on the planet, so we're straight up spoiling you during Customer Appreciation Month. You'll get employee pricing on select RVs. Go to Bish's.com and click Get Lowest Price, and you're set for a summer like no other. And how about 90 days no payments for all play and no pay OAC? We'll also trade anything. Just ask. Same goes for remaining 2022s. Pricing could not be lower. Right now during Customer Appreciation Month at Bish's RV in North Salt Lake and American Fork, where memories begin.
With the 3 things you need to know this hour, I'm Amanda Dixon. First, Utah's Olympic Bid Committee told a new group of lawmakers they are prepared to host again, whether it's in 2030 or 2034. Second, California Governor Gavin Newsom says the Highway Patrol has been recovering kilograms of fentanyl on the streets of San Francisco. And third, your student loan payments will be restarting by the end of August after a 3-year pandemic hiatus. Right now it's 61 degrees in Salt Lake City. Back to the movie show on KSL News Radio.
The Movie Show.
It is not a donut hole, but a smaller donut with its own hole. And our donut is not a hole at all.
On KSL News Radio.
Today, the movie show is originating from the Megaplex Theater and the original right here at Jordan Commons. And, you know, Blake, I always introduce you as the Big Kahuna. But, you know, we had the Big Kahuna
Doesn't
here.
get bigger than that,
You
right?
know, Gail Miller was
Bigger
with
than
us right at the beginning of the show, and I'm really honored that she would come by. But it is so much fun to hang out with you guys. And on my watch, we have one more coming up on a Thursday night on the 29th of June, and I'm really looking forward to that as well. Let's talk about what's new at the Megaplex Theaters.
Well, a lot of exciting things happening. I think we talked about our kids' summer movies that we've launched, and those are going over just probably our most successful year since we've rolled that out, and probably because one, people know about it. Two, we're offering them for free for any of our guests that are on Wick or Snap, and then we also have the sensory friendly that you and Gail talked about, Doug. And then we're in the process of developing some fun things. We have 2 of our theaters under renovation right now and doing some remodeling in those. And then I told you when we were at Gateway a few months ago that we talked about that. We're within the next couple weeks we'll be announcing where a couple new megaplexes will be built with some added amenities. So
and these are ground up?
Ground up.
Wow.
2 to 3 ground up that we'll announce this year.
Which ones are under renovation right
Ogden.
now?
Ogden is under complete renovation. Happy to announce that it will be full luxury heated seating, as well as we'll be bringing our private label large screen format, the Platinum X, to Ogden, which is every bit as cool. The only way I can describe it without, we love IMAX. We love our IMAXs.
Sure.
But I honestly think we've out-topped the IMAX with Platinum X in that we have 2 digital projectors in there with Dolby Atmos sound all the way through the ceilings and around you. And then, in Ogden, you're going to have those big comfy seats. I just can't imagine a better way to see a movie. That one is being renovated now. So we'll have that open for the fall and the holiday season.
Gosh, you think of the movies that I went to as a kid, that Gail and Larry went to when they were newly married, and the experience we had, 35 millimeter and maybe 1 or 2 speakers if you were lucky. Often there was just one big speaker behind the screen. And, the stickiness on the floor and the squeaks and you think of the movie-going experience today, the one you just described that now is coming to Ogden. It's a different world.
It is. Doug, when I started, and I started young. I got my first job in the theaters up at the Wilshire in Ogden when I was 15.
Yeah.
And do you know back in those days, and maybe this will tell how old I am, but we didn't clean theaters between shows.
Oh, yeah.
That was not even part of our job, and I was the usher. We kept the lobbies clean.
Yeah.
But what happened in the theaters stayed in the theaters. And I mean, by the end of the day, sometimes it was difficult to get your seat bottom down.
Yeah.
You just kind of pushed everything up under that.
The popcorn.
And that was the standard.
Yeah.
That literally was the standard back then. So in that amount of time, look how far we've come. Can you imagine going to a theater and having to kick other people's trash away?
I know. There were cups and bags.
We used to play a trailer that would say, after the movie's over, please carry out your trash and thanks. The guy would pop out and, I don't even remember that trailer where they open the theater door and all the trash comes out.
And you go, thanks. Yeah.
And that was our way of saying, look, if you don't take it out, you're going to be sitting in it. And I just can't imagine.
That's some tough love right there.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Things have changed a lot over the years. So.
Yeah, you watch the Tidy family over there, and that was the anomaly. And
Yeah.
really, taking your trash out was
Yeah.
maybe picking up one or two things and leaving the
Yeah,
rest
just
behind.
left it. Floors were sticky. Like Gail said, seats were bad. It was the movie-going experience right now is better than it has ever been in our history. And I think, part of that is because our crowds are more sophisticated. And, now that you can sit home and watch things, we want to do things. We still want that communal experience, but we also have to elevate that physical experience
right.
of being in the seats.
Yeah, because, at home, I mean, now I look at my, 55-inch, and that's tiny compared to Steve and, the guys that really have the bucks. But I had to look
Who's he
over
talking to?
just to see the look on his face. But, we can have a fairly good movie-going
Sure.
experience at home.
Yeah.
But there's nothing like seeing it in the theater.
That is one thing COVID taught us. Before COVID, in the industry, we talked a lot about streaming and windows and studios and where they're going to put their movies. If there was any good that came out of COVID, and nobody was hurt during COVID as bad as we were, right?
Right,
The theaters
right.
really had a hard time during COVID. But one good thing that came out of it was we all realized how much we need a communal experience.
Boy, no kidding.
And it's great at home, but it is fantastic in the theaters with a communal experience. Yep. And then the studios realized that the streaming model doesn't work for them either because there's really no incremental revenue. People don't know about the movies. And so the studios realized they needed cinema theaters, and then the guests realized we need cinema theaters. And it's just nice to see things back and good again.
I think of the two movies that I've taken my little grandson to. My other grandkids are still too young. But I took Conrad to Lyle Lyle Crocodile, and he still talks about barfing up the cat. Yeah. I mean, it's a whole if we had watched that at home, it wouldn't have been anywhere near the same experience. And to watch him in Elemental the other night, and he was he was right there in the seat. He was absolutely focused on the screen and his popcorn, but he absolutely loved that experience.
Yeah, we have the same experience with ours, and the thing is, you're sitting at home and they're distracted and they're running around and they're in this room and that room, but you go into the theater and they're just glued there.
It's a different deal.
And the neat thing about Jordan Commons here and now at Geneva as well, and we're putting these more in, is if you got a little one that's a little rambunctious, we have the old-fashioned cry rooms, the quiet rooms in the back, and let them sit for a while, then let them go up and you can hear and see it. It's a soundproof room, and let your little ones run around a little bit, and then go back and sit down.
That is a great idea. It truly is.
I told somebody about that, and they didn't believe me.
Yeah, I know.
Once you've experienced, it's great.
Yeah. And it allows maybe a younger couple that before, wouldn't have been able to or weren't comfortable,
I think it allows you to train your kids to sit to it. Our kids nowadays are so distracted with social media and all this quick entertainment. They have to learn to sit for a 2-hour, an hour and a half movie, and that kind of helps you kind of teach them to do that.
That's right. Let's take a break here at the top of the hour. We'll come back. More of the movie show coming to you from Jordan Commons today. This is KSL FM Midvale, KSL AM Salt Lake City.
It's 10 o'clock at KSL News Radio. I'm Dan Bonas. KSL's top story this hour is breaking news. Just into the KSL newsroom, the gunman who killed 11 worshipers at the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh in 2018 has been found guilty of the capital offense of obstruction of the free exercise of religious belief resulting in death. 22 of the more than 60 counts against Robert Bowers make him eligible for the death penalty. Attorney General Merrick Garland announced the results of the Justice Department's investigation of the Minneapolis police that followed the murder of George Floyd 3 years ago. Garland says the city's police department had widespread misuses of power.
The Department of Justice has concluded that there is reasonable cause to believe that the Minneapolis Police Department and the City of Minneapolis engaged in a pattern or practice of conduct that violates the First and Fourth.
Suicide rates going up and up from the 2000 until 2021 surveys. Jessica Holtzbauer from the Huntsman Mental Health Institute told Utah's Morning News the risk is even higher for LGBTQ youth.
We know that almost half of LGBTQ kids have thought about suicide, and 1 in 4 have actually attempted suicide.
Holtzbauer says the best answer is for peers and adults to use the pronouns a person goes by. She says this simple act of affirmation can lower suicide ideation by up to 60%. Your money at this moment, the Dow Jones average up, but just a few points, just 5 points right now. The NASDAQ has dropped about 24 points. And our KSL weather looks like a mostly sunny weekend. That's next. KSL News Time, 10:02.
Early mornings can be hard enough, just getting yourself going.
We try to make it a little easier with news and weather from comfortable, trusted anchors and reporters.
Join us on Utah's Morning News between 5 and 9
on KSL News Radio.
Yeah, this past weekend we did the Ride to Light Up Eureka, and thanks to everybody who contributed to that, rode in the ride. And my wife went down to Eureka. She's feeling well enough now and in good enough condition where she could just hop in along with my cousin Janet and into our Polaris side-by-side. And she and my cousin just kind of tooled around and made sure that everything was being handled properly for the ride. And they were right there. We got it from Stedman's, of course. I've mentioned before how much we have loved that Polaris side-by-side. My son bought his four-wheeler out at Stedman's, and he said, "Dad, I shopped all over the place. I mean, I looked up in the Heber Valley, I looked up north, I looked down south. Finally, I looked west, and boy, did I find the deal there. And there's kind of a ding, ding, ding. I thought, why didn't I recommend to him to go to Stedman's? They're great folks. I've known them for a long, long time now. I started my commercial radio career out in Tooele at KDYL out there on Vine Street, and I knew the Stedmans. I've known people in their family, and so when it came time for us to buy our Polaris side-by-side, where did I go? Stedman's, of course. Great people to do business with, and when you go in there, odds are you're going to be dealing with the Stedman family, Russ or Kirk or Dave over in the repair area and the tune-up area. You're going to love doing business with these people. And it's summertime. This is the time to get out. Side-by-sides, ATVs, dirt bikes. They have the power-assisted e-bikes. They've got the expertise, too. And with all of this great outdoor environment we have, the different environments in the state of Utah, it's time for you to get out there on a Yamaha, Polaris, Honda, Argo, Beta, KO. It's all there. They've got a tremendous inventory waiting for you. All the accessories. Great service department, as I mentioned, with Dave over there at Stedman's in Tooele, right there on Main Street, on the east side of the road.
It's Free Frazzle Friday. Visit any participating location to get a 12-ounce cup of Frazzle slushie today. Go to freefrazzlefriday.com or download the Frazzle app for participating locations while supplies last.
Smart, connected, modern. Discover life-enhancing independent living services at Trio Orem. Joy isn't just for the young, it's for the young at heart. Trio's signature programs provide a unique approach to wellness, bringing living well and well-being to life. Trio is reimagining retirement to deliver delight in every detail. To learn more, contact Trio Orem at 801-434-8000 or visit treeorem.com.
Who will dare to find a new way to think about energy? One that connects our lives like never before and creates a world where we can breathe easy. NewScale dared by making 24/7 carbon-free energy a reality with our Voyager SMR power plants. Let's see how bright the future can be when cleaner, safer energy is available to all. NewScale. Power to the world. Power for all humankind. Discover the future of energy at newscalepower.com.
I found, Tim, that one of the hardest things about being a mom is just deciding what to cook for dinner every night.
I know.
Which is part of why I'm so excited to tell everybody about Beehive Meals.
It is a Utah company, and at some point we're going to have to tell the story of the Jacksons and how they actually got this going in 2019. But if you've been struggling with having tacos one night and spaghetti another night, open up your world for dinner with things like Mongolian beef stir fry or Parmesan honey pork roast.
Your family dinner has just never been easier than it is with these. They're pre-assembled freezer meals. I put it in the crock pot. I set it for how long it needs to go. It stays warm after that. And that way, if the family can't all eat together, if one person has basketball and another, it's just warm for whenever they're ready.
And by the way, less than $3.50 per serving. You couldn't go out to the store or out to dinner, certainly on your own, for that price.
You're absolutely right, Tim. I couldn't buy the ingredients for any less.
Start it for your family right now. Go to beehivemeals.com.
Traffic and weather together brought to you by Granite Credit Union's high yield savings certificates. Here's Jason Jones.
Bit of slow traffic now, southbound I-15 around Shepherd Lane. It's where it starts and lasts down to about Park Lane. Looks like we got an accident on the overpass of Park Lane there. It's got one left lane blocked, and that may be causing a little bit of delay to stretch out onto I-15 at this point. Nothing too major, but you're going to run a little less than 70 miles an hour through there. Otherwise, everything else still looking fantastic. 70-plus miles an hour coming out of Utah County and through the Salt Lake Valley. No problems on the belt route. If you're traveling north, southbound, east, west, any of that stuff, looking really fantastic. Plan ahead for nightly lane closures on I-80 and the 215 East Belt. Lanes are closed 7 nights a week in eastern Salt Lake County while crews place new concrete pavement. I'm Jason Jones in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL weather, mostly sunny with highs in the mid-70s. Warmer through the weekend with a high of 90 on Sunday. We could see showers and thunderstorms come back next week. Right now, 64 degrees and sunny at KSL News Radio, 102.7 FM, 1160 AM at KSLNewsRadio.com. Your all-day companion for news.
It's the world-famous KSL Movie Show on KSL News Radio.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I think you said that.
It is the movie show here at KSL News Radio, broadcasting from the Megaplex Theaters, Jordan Commons. This is the beginning. This is the epicenter of the Larry H. Miller Megaplex Theaters today. And they've got us in the VIP area.
Only for the best. The best for the best.
Of course.
Of course.
right.
Now that is it because the commish was here?
No question. Between the commish and Gail Miller, we just had to roll out the
Up
red
the game.
I
carpet.
mean, seriously.
Yeah. Had nothing to do with Steve, is what you're saying.
Well, he was third.
I put on my
I know he's
wearing
wearing
meeting coat.
He's wearing his
looking good
funeral
today.
outfit today. So I mean, this is big time.
Looking good. It's a cowboy funeral. I got my Levi's.
Cowboy funeral. Oh, we've seen a few of those. Commish, it's good to have you here. Virginia
Thank
Pierce
you.
with us.
Yeah, nice
Yeah.
to be here. I always like coming to the movie theaters.
And not telling us stuff.
And hanging out with Blake.
Yeah, and hang out because you guys are on the Bard together, right?
We are.
On the Bard. Yeah. Okay. There was something kind of cryptic. I'm going to go right for the juggler on this one.
She's not going to tell you.
I'm even getting my glasses out.
Oh boy. On
this, and it says where our incentive money's going, and there's destined at Christmas too, which we'll talk about. Then there was All Berries, which we will talk about, but an untitled episodic series from Paramount was also approved for the Utah Motion Picture Incentive Program to be filmed in Summit County at the Utah Film Studios. Gary Crandall, who is the owner of the Utah Film Studios,
he's like, thank you.
He's been on the movie show, and he has actually hosted the movie show up at his joint a couple of times during the Sundance Film Festival. He said, quote, "We are thrilled that Paramount is returning, not coming, but returning."
Wow, Doug spent some time on this.
Returning to Utah, and will be providing a cash infusion into rural communities with this new project.
So we know it's probably not Tulsa Kings.
Is it truly a new project, or is it a transferred project?
I mean, it's a...
Let's hear it get out of this one, Steve.
It's a episodic series by Paramount.
Thank you. That's going to be filmed in Utah.
It's going to be filmed in Utah.
At the Utah
and
Film
yes,
Studios.
we are thrilled to have Paramount back.
Do we know the genre by chance?
Yeah.
The genre is probably set in the West somewhere.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I think we've narrowed that down. See how much information I wormed out of her?
Definitely not Tulsa King.
She just repeated everything that I said back to me.
You know what I've learned about all these years in politics and the entertainment industry
Plausible
is that
deniability.
you answer the question the way you want to answer the question, not the way that it was asked.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
see what I did there.
So I saw that. So, but this, if it's what I'm speculating, it is. This is a big deal.
It's always a big deal to have Paramount here.
No, it's not a deal. It's a
It's
dill.
a dill. Sorry, we're in Utah.
It's a big dill.
Yes, it's a big deal, and we're very excited. So we're just, going to cross our fingers that the strike gets resolved.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, it's 45 days now, and they haven't.
We were
gotten
just
any
talking
closer.
about that.
Yeah.
And, when an industry has had not just a big hiccup or a big problem, but the cataclysmic, epic incident in its entire history, and then to have a strike just as it's bouncing back.
Yeah, it's I think we're empathetic. We all want everyone to be paid what they're due, and normally we lock arms with anyone in the industry that feels there's anything to protest or to try to get things right-sided. But this is not the time.
Yeah.
They need to get this resolved because so far it has not affected the film industry. It's mostly the television studios. But if they don't resolve this, then there'll be another slowdown of theatrical releases, which, just when we're back on our feet fully, to have that happen would just not be a good thing.
It is. I mean, you just get it out of the coma. You get it out of the intensive care unit. You've got it. Been on some crutches here and there. Now walking on it, getting back in the race, almost ready to run the marathons again.
Yeah.
And then you trip them.
Yeah, we're just all hoping and praying that they resolve this in the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
Because we just don't want to see a stoppage of film again.
We really need them to get to the table.
That has a big effect.
It does
on the economy of Utah
I mean,
at every level.
Every conversation I have is, we're coming. We're bringing this project. We want to bring it to Utah as long as the strike gets resolved. Yeah.
So meanwhile, back to this untitled episode that's coming from Paramount.
Tried, Bird. Sorry.
Yeah.
Nice distraction.
Yeah.
But would it be safe to think that maybe somebody who has really made a name for him or herself on Paramount, which is a staple of Paramount, might have something to do with the various things that have been on Paramount?
I mean, there are some very talented writers and directors that work at Paramount and have been
She's
putting
killing
things
me,
out.
Smalls. She's killing me, Smalls.
I'm thinking the governor in that little shop.
All right, yeah. This is like best little whorehouse in Texas. Just
I do the sidestep.
Does a little sidestep. The cowboy hat slips to the side and fits down
That
on
is
the
a
head.
great
Okay,
song.
well, let's get back and talk about the this one. Let's talk about Destined at Christmas 2.
I know. It's not June or July in Utah without a Christmas movie.
I know. Where's it going to be shot? Do we know?
I think this is a Utah County production. This is brought to us by Candlelight Media, a longtime Utah production company who makes a lot of great, nice family movies. And they kind of air all over the place, Lifetime and Distribution and lots of others. And this is obviously, as you can tell from the two, a sequel to much loved Destined at Christmas. So
Okay.
be nice, yeah.
All right. Oops, All Berries. This, I understand, is going to be shot in Emery and Grand County.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think this is a movie about Captain Crunch.
I was going to say, that's what I've been wondering ever since I saw the title. Is this like the Flamin' Hot thing where we find out how they invented Oops, All Berries?
Yep.
I mean, there's some clues in there.
Clues.
Yeah.
But you're talking to the clueless.
This is not a. This is the working title. I
The
will
working
say.
title. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The distracting title. So a portion of whatever they're filming is going to be shot down there. Is that just
A portion of a much larger movie will be shot in Utah. It's
How
very
much
exciting for
larger?
us. Quite a bit larger.
Ooh.
And it's the first time they've shot in Utah.
Wow.
So that's really exciting for us. And I will say it's going to be a much anticipated project.
Wow.
And if anyone does any internet searching, I'm sure they will figure it out.
Independence Day 3.
No.
No. Okay.
I kind of know, but I
Oh,
shan't say.
so you're holding out on us too?
Well, I don't know. I don't want to disrespect the commission if she's going to not
I
tell
mean,
us.
it's been in multiple Utah papers.
Multiple.
I think
Sean means ferreted
I
it
think
out.
actually
Yeah.
KSL listed something on their
Okay.
site as well. So
Anything else we should know before You were such a highlight when we played Telephone Torture the last time you
man.
were here. She was in on, it was Mother's Day, and she goes, I know that. That's from Mean Girls.
I couldn't believe that you guys didn't know that one.
Well, I knew it.
Well, you had the answers.
Well,
Steve didn't
I
know
came
it.
up with it.
I didn't.
See? But, hey, we've got one that deals with either summertime movies or lines about summer in movies.
Okay.
And we're going to...
I mean, between Blake and I.
Now,
I'm terrible at these things. You know, we need our CEO, Steve Starks, down here. He can name any
Or
movie
Whipple.
anytime. Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff the Whipple. But, you know, Blake loves it when we really have a good loser on Telephone Torture, right?
He wants to hug him.
My favorite line is go, I wish I could get him each a car.
If you're going to call in, today's
wanna
the
be
day
Oprah.
because I'm here.
Yeah.
Right?
That's right.
right?
Yeah, soft-hearted Blake is here. And we've got 3 doors. We've got the traditional movie show prize. We got the summer movie prize.
Yay.
That's cool. But we have the Father's Day
Big Daddy prize.
Yeah, which, you know, is worth the gleaning.
It's 3 times.
So let's
the
take a
regular
break,
price.
and when we come back, it's a rousing rendition, a summertime edition of Telephone
Get Doug, get all perked up.
Torture. Stay with us.
Before you head to work, before you hit the gym, keep going, that's it. Before you make your way home,
Bye.
get a quick check on traffic and weather.
PD on the scene at 8 South and West Temple.
Highway 89 also really backed up.
Listen every 10 minutes on the 9s, in your car at 102.7 FM, or tell Alexa, play KSL News Radio.
You know, it's always so much fun for Steve and I to talk about NPS. You know, we've really gotten to know these folks really well.
we love these
I mean, Julie and the great crew there. And, just, you know, wonderful, wonderful folks are there at NPS with incredible savings, 30 to 70% each and every day on, well, except Sunday, on brand new stuff, Steve.
So my way to go is to go into the grocery store part, and the aisle that's right behind the checkout stand is where all the super deals are.
That's right.
The rest of the store is all deals,
But that's
the
the
super deals.
blowout
And
stuff.
then I head over across the street to the industrial side, and there's all kinds. Every time I go in there, it's completely different.
I know. You really need to go in when you have a little time. And, you know, you may be going in for a particular, hey, I'm going to look at their patio furniture. Hey, I'm going to look at some of their sporting goods stuff. Or, hey, I want to look at tools. But take the time to walk through there because it is remarkable.
Because they even have an automotive section.
I
I
know.
found hydraulic oil for my 1945 Ford tractor.
Really?
Yes. And it was like super cheap. I couldn't believe it.
Super cheap.
Yeah.
You know, and when they have a sale, that's on top of the 30 to 70% already off.
Yes.
And so you'll see it like some days they'll say, hey, on all bedding things, it's 50% off. Hey, on all, you know, women's coats or whatever, you know, whatever it might be. I'm just pulling that out of my head here right now. But I'll tell you, you're going to save like crazy. It's at Layton. It's in Orem, and it's at the location there on 1600 South and Empire, which is just a little west of Redwood Road.
And by the way, don't forget the garden section in the
That's
back by the
right.
grocery store. I mean, they have amazing plants back there. It's
I know,
really,
it's incredible.
Yeah.
And again, as our friend Igor always says, boy, when you see the deal, you buy the deal. You snooze, you lose.
That's right.
It's NPS. We like to think of it as a nice place to save.
Getting help with plumbing repairs is easier than you think. All you have to do is call Any Hour Services or schedule an appointment at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No. We tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our client's best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
Hey, summer's here, and it's only getting hotter. Get 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for a year on a new day and night air conditioning system.
Don't put it off. Summer is here and it's hot. Have a new day and night air conditioner and furnace system installed with 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 12 months. Enjoy savings and a cool, comfortable home for a full year before you even have to make a payment. Go to dayandnightcomfort.com for a day and night elite dealer near you. The difference is day and night.
Martin's Collision Repair.
50,000 cars repaired and counting. Just check Martin's 5-star online reviews.
Joyce posted, Martin's kept me updated during the repair. The repair was beyond expectations. I highly recommend Martin's.
Hi, I'm Tiago Martins. Check Martin's Facebook page or martinscollision.com for your 5-star Martin's experience. On State Street in Norham and in Salem, we work with all insurance companies.
The right repair, the right paint, the right choice. Martin's Collision Repair.
With the 3 things you need to know this hour, I'm Dan Bonas. First, Utah's risk for suicide is higher than the rest of the country, especially among LGBTQ youth. Second, Utah's unemployment rate stayed steady at 2.3% last month, well below the rest of the country. Third, tornadoes caused extensive damage in the Texas Panhandle overnight. One town saw 200 homes destroyed. Right now, 64 degrees and sunny in Salt Lake City. Back to The Movie Show on KSL News Radio.
The KSL Movie Show. Telephone torture.
This is such a sophisticated segment, isn't it, though? This is something that the enlightened folks in our audience look forward to each and every week. Well, let's just put it this way. The people that love the prizes from Megaplex Theater look forward to each and every week. Because, okay, you ready for this, Steve?
Yep.
Option number 1. Well, let's start with number 3. It's the traditional Megaplex movie prize, which is very cool. 2 tickets, go to any movie you want, any theater that is within the family. 2 large Coca-Cola soft drinks and a large Megaplex popcorn.
Yeah.
Great prize.
Lovely prize.
Then this one, the family 4-pack of Megaplex 2023 Kids Summer Movie Passes. 10 family-friendly movies, 10 weeks, $10 per pass is the normal price on that. And you can go to the sensory-friendly screenings, the open caption screenings, Spanish language screenings were available.
By the way, that's new, right?
Yeah, that's a cool one. And then there is this little jewel. How about the Megaplex Father's Day gift package? 6 Megaplex movie passes, 6, count them, 6 large Coca-Cola soft drinks.
Seems like more than 2.
3 large Megaplex popcorn, refillable and enough to share. 3 Swig cookie, and they are really good. These cookie cups, ooh. Now available at Megaplex theaters. So, casting no aspersions here, but I would go number 1.
Yeah, I think that's a good call.
It's my insight.
Unless you want the family 4-pack.
Yeah, you want the family 4-pack. You just go, that'd be fun all summer with the kids.
There's no bad prize there.
I'm
just feeling really, really good.
Are you saying there are no losers
here?
There
are no losers there.
Oh, there will be. Trust me. Okay, so now we're going to go for summertime movies or summertime lines from movies.
Yeah,
okay, are you ready for this? This is going to be big, Steve. You ready?
Yeah.
You ready? Okay. The KSL phone line to call. We're going to do this old school on the phone. You can't just,
mentally
participate. It really helps if you don't mentally participate on the movie show. You call the number, and it's KSL Talk, okay? Then we play a soundbite. We don't give you much time because, you have to kind of know this stuff.
You don't want to look at it up.
Yeah, I don't want you to look them up. So here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to our first potential winner here on the movie show. Hi, who's this? Hello? We hear you breathing.
Darth Vader.
It's Ronnie Reluctant.
Ronnie Reluctant out there. Hi, who's this?
Hi, this is Mike.
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
I'm just...
Are you on Mars, Mike?
He's got 1G on his phone.
Yeah, he's
walkie-talkie.
He's out in Utah's West Desert, hunting the elusive.
He's in Eureka.
Yeah.
Okay, but thank you. She'll be here all week.
Not now.
Okay. Mike, are you with us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. All right. Listen to this soundbite and tell me which movie it's from.
Summer romances end for all kinds of reasons. But when all is said and done, they have one thing in common. They are shooting stars, a spectacular moment of light in the heavens, a fleeting glimpse of eternity. And in a flash, they're gone.
Okay, the commission's got it. You got it, Blake?
Not a clue.
Ooh, not a clue.
I know part of it.
Okay, all right.
I know the second part.
Okay, Mike, your time's up. What's the movie?
I got nothing.
James Garner.
Oh, that's right. He's
playing the older Ryan Gosling in The Notebook.
Yeah.
Mike,
Come on, guys.
embrace it. What are you?
No wonder you knew that, Virginia.
A loser.
You are a loser. Here you go. Bam.
Big freaking loser.
Yeah. All right.
I
now-
still can't forget
That
them
hurts.
holding on to that twin
know.
bed not falling off. That's ridiculous. Anyway.
Let's go back to our phone line and let's see if this person knows the soundbite that we are playing. Hi, who's this? Hello.
Okay.
Hi, how you doing?
Great. How are you?
Good. Who is this?
David.
David, are you feeling like a big wiener or a loser?
You're making me hungry for lunch. A wiener sounds good.
Ooh, that does sound good, doesn't it? Okay, listen to this soundbite.
Focus.
And see if you know which movie this is from. And you have to get the right episode, too. So here we go.
I think Nick Fury just hijacked our summer vacation. Awesome.
Hijack your summer vacation. Vacation.
You know, you're out of time, my friend.
Oh,
Which means that was Spider-Man No Way Home. And when you hear the thing, I think Nick Fury just hijacked our summer vacation. Awesome.
Larry's saying that it was
Larry's
not
got
No
it.
Way Home.
Oh, it's Far From Home. Okay. Well, he still lost. You know, it's
one of those home movies.
It's definitive. You know, you're a loser no matter how we go on that one. Wow. So do you want to embrace it?
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Your best. Losers always whine about their best.
Okay. Now, so we can actually keep this show on time, we're going to hold a brief hiatus here as we go to our news.
Check your pulse.
And
here.
then we're going to come back and we will continue telephone torture. Steve is just, are you happy about that?
Thrilled. We get 2 segments. Wow.
Commish, did you get both of them or just the one?
No, I only got the one.
You didn't get the Nick
Girl
Fury?
movie.
The girl.
The girl
I didn't
movie.
get the Spider-Man
She
one.
said that. We didn't.
It's one of my son's favorite. He
All
loves
right.
that one.
We're taking a break, and we'll come right back with more of telephone torture.
It's 10:30 at KSL News Radio. I'm Dan Bonas. KSL's top local story, or top national story this hour. A jury in Pittsburgh has convicted Robert Bowers on more than 60 counts in the deadly shooting at the Tree of Life Synagogue in 2018. 11 people died there. Another 7 were injured. 22 of those convictions make him eligible for the death penalty. A tornado ripped through the small Texas town of Perryton late on Thursday. ABC's Maria Villarreal is on the ground in northern Texas. She says about 200 homes were destroyed.
This entire town is without power for now. Their concern was whether or not several of their facilities that generate a lot of power for this area, whether they had been damaged as well. So they're going to be assessing that later on today. But we have heard from residents that this could take days, if not weeks, for them to get things back up and running. Really, the first priority for a lot of these families here is just trying to assess the damage, clean things up, and figure out what their next steps are.
Utah's unemployment rate stayed steady in May, while the country's unemployment rate ticked up. The Department of Workforce Services Deputy Director Nate McDonald says we had positive job growth in May, unlike the rest of the country.
We bucked the trend. We were seeing our job growth slowing since January, and in May we saw those numbers jump up. We went from 2.6 job growth to 2.9% job growth, and so looking very good for the month of May.
McDonald says leisure and hospitality, as well as education and health services, are leading the way in job growth, Those industries were hit the hardest during the pandemic. Your money at this moment, the Dow Jones average up 45 points on the day right now. The NASDAQ down just about 7 points. The S&P up around 8. And a sunny day, sunny weekend ahead, it looks like. KSL Weather's next. KSL News Time, 10:32.
What do you need to hear in the morning to feel ready for the day?
Important news that happened overnight. The traffic you'll hit on the roads.
You'll be ready for your day with us.
Join Utah's Morning News 5 to 9 on KSL News Radio.
Quality, speed, value for your money, and $1,000 off any roof replacement. That's the IWC advantage. IWC, Intermountain West Contractors, delivers on the things most important to you when it comes time to replace your roof. There could be a dozen different reasons why your roof needs replacement, but just one answer to the problem: IWC. With IWC, you get quality because roof replacement is their specialty, and each job comes complete with the best warranties from the most trusted roofing material manufacturer in America. You get speed because IWC understands your time is valuable. In most cases, they can replace an entire roof in just one day. And with IWC, there's the value of knowing they use top-tier quality materials in every installation and deliver it all at an affordable price. And now, for a limited time, save $1,000 on a roof replacement project. Visit IWCroofing.com or call 801-232-5690. That's 801-232-5690. It's Free Frazzle Friday. Visit any participating location to get a 12-ounce cup of Frazzle Slushy today. Go to freefrazzlefriday.com or download the Frazzle app for participating locations while supplies last.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 in the morning, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Troy, I want to spoil the crud out of our amazing customers during Bish's RV Customer Appreciation Month.
Oh, I'm with you. We're throwing the biggest customer appreciation sale in our history.
Okay, this should be good.
For starters, employee pricing is back on select RVs. Go to Bish's.com and click the Get Lowest Price button.
Stop! Cut the music.
What the heck?
You're leading with employee pricing? You gotta save your best for last, not first.
Can I just get back to the sale?
Just saying. Hit it, guys.
On top of employee pricing on select RVs, we're giving you 90 days no payments for all play and no pay OAC.
That's good too.
And no reasonable offer will be refused on remaining 2022s.
Whoa.
Plus, we'll trade anything. Just ask.
Cut the music.
What now?
Sorry, just feeling a little power hungry.
Is that it?
Yep, you're doing great. Hit it, guys.
Get employee pricing, 90 days no payments OAC, amazing trade value, and more during Customer Appreciation Month at Bish's RV in North Salt Lake and our new location in American Fork. Bish's RV, where memories begin.
Traffic and weather together brought to you by Granite Credit Union's high-yield savings certificates. Here's Jason Jones.
Well, we did have a problem southbound I-15 at the Park Lane off-ramp, but that has been cleared now, and the traffic is moving much better through that area. Still maybe a little bunched up as you travel from Shepherd Lane down to Park Lane, but nothing too serious at this point, and we expect traffic to be back to totally normal here in just a few minutes. Northbound I-15 coming out of Utah County, no problems as you round the point of the mountain up into the Salt Lake Valley. The west side and east side belt routes, they're all looking good. No problems on I-80 or 201, and off into any of your canyons, you're looking fantastic there as well. The Utah Symphony's Deer Valley Music Festival in Park City features Ben Folds, Leanne Rimes, the Beach Boys, and more. June 30th through August 4th in Park City at DeerValleyMusicFestival.org. I'm Jason Jones in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL weather, mostly sunny with highs in the mid-70s. Warmer through the weekend with a high of 90 on Sunday. And we could see showers and thunderstorms come back next week. Right now, it's 69 degrees and sunny at KSL News Radio, 102.7 FM, 1160 AM, and KSLNewsRadio.com. Your all-day companion for news.
The KSL Movie Show. Telephone torture.
Nothing brings a smile to Blake Anderson's face like telephone torture.
Oh, it kills me.
Okay, now, last you heard, we've had two losers on the movie show. We had a loser on The Notebook. We had a loser on Spider-Man. And it's Far From Home, right, Larry? Yeah, okay, all right. And now we're going to go to another soundbite. You can choose from the 3 Megaplex prizes. I'm highly recommending the Father's Day package, but they're all great. There shall be no losers on that, that's for sure. So let's go back to our phone line, which is KSL Talk, and let's talk to a potential big wiener. Hi, who's this? Hello? I guess we ran through our last listener, you know. Yeah.
Good timing.
Yeah, good timing. Good luck, you guys. Okay. Hi. Who's this?
This is Matt.
Matt, how are you?
I'm doing okay, but we'll see if I know anything.
You sound terrified.
I'm sensing a little fear and trepidation in your. Yeah, well, I would be true.
Remember back in the day, you just called in, and now you got to answer all these questions.
I know.
Pressure's
What's
even
your favorite
worse.
color? Blue? No, red.
Puts a little more sport.
That one I know.
Puts in a little more sport to it. But this one, I would advise you to listen very closely to one key word in this and the voice itself. So here we go for Matt.
Winter's a good time to stay in and cuddle, but put me in summer and I'll be a happy snowman.
Ooh. Okay, Matt, the clock's ticking.
I know this one.
That's Olaf
That is Olaf.
Yes.
From which movie?
from Frozen.
Frozen! Ding, ding, ding.
Thank you.
Way to go.
Wow. Blake is so relieved.
Sweating those.
We have a big wiener on the line right here. Okay, Matt, now you have a big decision to make, and you cannot lose on this one. We have the traditional Megaplex Movie Prize. We have the Family 4-pack of Megaplex 2023 Kids Summer Movie Passes. Or we have the Father's Day gift package where you get 6 Megaplex Movie Passes, 6 large Coca-Cola soft drinks, 3 large Megaplex popcorns, and 3 Swig cookie cups.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
Maybe. Depends. Is it open season on partridges?
Maybe.
All right. Okay, so what are you going to choose, Matt?
I'll take door number 3.
Door number 3. Wow, good for you. You've got the Father's Day movie passes. Congratulations. We're going to put you on hold. We're going to shake you down for every bit of information we humanly possibly can and your safe deposit box key. So we'll look forward to getting all that information, but thank you. I'll be here 3 weeks. Now, something like that. Okay, but, you know, I think that we probably, you know, because I always have what I affectionately called, with much respect, an idiot-proof question. Do you want to hear what the idiot-proof question
That's even
was?
more pressure on people.
I do want to hear it, yeah.
Okay, all right. Matt wants to hear it. Okay, well, actually, we had this one, too, and I thought this one will go for sure. Play cut number 4 there, Gustavo. Here we go.
I swim here every summer in my adult life. Every summer, there she is. Lotion, oily, lotion. I can't take this no more.
Poor Squints from the Sandlot. Man.
That's a Utah favorite.
That is a Utah favorite. Yeah. But here is the idiot proof, just in case we didn't, you know, that if somebody missed this one, they need to be drummed out of the movie corps. Okay, here we go. Play it. Yeah, everybody's nodding their heads on this one.
Face Off.
And I said, we're going to play it to the bitter end until somebody gets it.
That one right.
Yeah, Grease. There you have it. All right, Matt, congratulations.
Saturday Night Fever?
Yeah.
Same guy.
That was Saturday. That was the endless summer that we had there. All right. Another rousing rendition. See, now, aren't you proud?
That wasn't so bad.
See?
There's a couple sad guys out there. If you call us or call Jeff, we'll make sure they're
Oh, my gosh, Blake.
Yeah. What are we going to do?
You are a softie.
That is a good person right there.
He is a soft. a soft
He
touch.
He knows karma.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Oh, the movie show's nothing but good karma from
That's
beginning
right.
to end.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for sponsoring this classic radio moment each and every week.
It's wearing on me.
It's wearing on you or growing on
Maybe
you?
growing on me.
Yeah.
I think both, actually.
Yeah, a little of both. Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, and to have the commish stop by and kind of, warrant the legitimacy of this great event, you got them all, didn't you? Except the one.
Except the one.
You didn't get the Spider-Man
No.
one.
That was hard.
All right. Well, commish, this might be...
Don't say it. I don't want to hear it. I
The-
have my tissue.
Got a box here.
I mean, this is going to be our last...
No.
This is going to be my last chance to harass you about Eureka.
No.
The last chance to just kind of, worm information out.
Aren't you going to be a special guest at all down the road?
Define special.
He's always been special.
Yeah, I've always been special. But
That would be fun. You guys can have him back now and then.
Yeah.
Sit on this side of the table.
Yeah.
I'll just call in on telephone
There
torture.
you go.
Yes.
Oh,
that'll- every week
that
they
would
go,
be worth
Every
oh,
week.
no, it's Doug again.
I actually might like that.
Yeah, he's
I
got
know.
he's got Ian's cell phone, he's got Katie's cell phone, he's got Tyra's cell phone, he's got Dee's cell phone, he's got his cell phone, he's got Conrad's cell phone, and
Yeah, we
I hit-
can't block them all.
and I hit them all at the same time.
If Conrad has
Be
a cell
awesome.
phone, that's a mistake.
Yeah, well, you never know. Virginia, seriously, thank you so much. It's been fun. As you mentioned, for about the last 6 years we've been doing this.
Yeah,
And to
it's
have the
amazing.
commissioner of the Film Commission, with us monthly and even on
Love
some
it.
special occasions, it's been great. Thank you. And you're going to continue with these guys.
We'll see.
Yeah. You're on probation, you
Yeah.
guys.
I've only been here 26 years.
We'll see how you do.
Exactly. All right. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, a brief break. We'll come back with more of the movie show. We got a lot of things to kind of catch up on. We're going to do a little movie news. We got other movies to talk about, including Elemental, which is a big movie this week.
It is.
So stay with us here on the movie show.
I guess it's human nature, Amanda, that no matter how much money we have in our savings account, it never seems like it's enough. And if you find yourself in that mode right now, let us direct you over to our friends at UCCU. They are wanting to help you supercharge your savings.
UCCU is offering high-rate savings options with yields up to 5.5%. All you do is go to uccu.com and select a high-rate savings option to do just what you said, supercharge your savings.
You're going to get a much bigger return on your savings right now. It's a savings certificate, which means you make one deposit up front and your money grows over a fixed period of time. So you can have that grow over 5 years, but UCCU has created some very short-term savings certificates with high yields, short like 6 months, 9 months, or a year.
So you decide how long do you want to put that money. You deposit money, a one-time only deposit, and then you let it stay in. The longer it stays in there, the higher the interest rate you earn.
And if you need immediate access to your money, UCCU's Money Market will give you a high yield and anytime access.
UCCU, you're going to love where you bank.
Okay, if it's just dawning on you that this weekend is Father's Day, I've got the perfect way to go. All you have to do is get a gift card from Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. That's it. And you put it inside of one of those goofy, envelopes that you buy with that strange card, mocking Dad in some affectionate fashion. Or it could just be a handwritten note. Dear Dad, love you very much. I love you so much. I'm going to take you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. That will make Dad's day. Along with, of course, seeing you and hanging out with the family and all the good things that go with Father's Day. Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, where you get the best steak you or Dad have ever had. There's just no doubt about it. The jury is not out. That is a definitive statement. And all of the side dishes and the desserts and the way they are presented, the way they are prepared, you're going to love either location that we have of Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Hotel Park City, so you're going to be heading up in the Summit County area. Maybe you're going to go for a hike. Maybe you're going to play a round of golf, whatever it might be. Go to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse for Father's Day. Or, the weekend after you've given Dad his gift card. And then, of course, downtown Salt Lake City. Let's paint the perfect scenario there. You go over to the Megaplex Gateway Theaters, you see Dad's favorite movie, and then you head on over to Ruth's Chris. It's the gift that Dad is going to love and appreciate. And it's so easy. You don't have to cook anything. You don't have to clean up anything. They take care of it all. at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse.
Call Climate Services is your local heating and air conditioning professionals that you can trust in every situation. Call Climate Services removes the stress that often accompanies a needed repair or replacement of your HVAC system. Call Climate Service technicians are trained to diagnose problems carefully and repair them safely and correctly. Their customers look forward to having them meet their needs and high expectations. Call Climate Services is a no gimmicks, straight talking with proven results company. Isn't it time that you give Call Climate Services a chance to make your day? Check out their Lennox Spring Specials at callclimate.com or give them a jingle at 801-298-4810. That's callclimate.com or call 801-298-4810. Remember, Call Climate Services. Dependable service. Trusted Lennox products. Callclimate.com. That's callclimate.com. Call Climate Services 801-298-4810.
With the three things you need to know this hour, I'm Dan Bomas. First, the Justice Department investigation of the Minneapolis Police Department showed a pattern of racial discrimination and excessive use of force. The investigation began after the murder of George Floyd by a Minneapolis police officer. Second, job growth in Utah outpaced the rest of the country in May. Third, a tornado wrecked a town in the Texas Panhandle overnight. Right now, 69 degrees and sunny in Salt Lake City. Back to The Movie Show on KSL News Radio.
The Movie Show.
It ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
On KSL News Radio.
Okay, you know, I failed to mention a little earlier, and I should have. I think I was just in awe of having some of the amazing people here today, including Gail Miller. But
Sure.
I failed to mention that the Big Movie Review, sponsored each week by Paris RV. Make every weekend a vacation with an RV from Paris RV. And every time I'm driving up, you know, I-15 from Eureka, sometimes I go through Santa Quinn and then up the freeway. Oh, my goodness. Their outlet down there is absolutely incredible.
They got inventory.
Oh, you ought to see it. I mean, it is a sea of amazing RVs. So anyway, a big thanks to them for sponsoring the Big Movie Review, which this week was Flash. But there's another really good movie, too, and I want to make sure that we get in on this one. So should we talk about Elemental here?
Sure.
Okay, here we go. Elemental.
So you've never left Firetown?
Sorry, buddy. Elements don't mix. Plus, my dad would boil you alive.
Why does anyone get to tell you what you can do in your life?
I see a change in you. I've been trying to fill my father's shoes, but I never once asked what I wanted to do.
You know, there's so many fun elements. No fun, pun intended, but thank you. I'll be here for 3 weeks. No, 2.5 weeks, whatever it is. But I'll tell you, I got a kick out of this movie. I really wondered where it was going. Now, I will be very honest. It's not my favorite Pixar movie. But, you know, just kind of a medium Pixar movie is always excellent. And then they kind of soften you up ahead of time, you know, with the hors d'oeuvre. You know, here, have this little appetizer, and we watch Carl's Date. You know, from the Up and Doug the dog and everything.
Talk about the water people crying, man. I was
I know. His wife has passed on, and, you know, he's kind of vegetating a little bit. Doug's concerned about him. And
the dog.
You know, the dog. And spelled D-U-G, by the way. But all of a sudden, he's going to go out on a date, and it is so sweet, and he feels so guilty. He kind of looks over at his wife's picture up on the mantle, and, oh, my goodness. This just, you know, just rings you out. But it sets you up for a good Pixar movie. And again, not my favorite, but I like this one. And it's about a family. We have fire people, we have water people, we have earth people, you know, kind of earth, wind, fire, and everything else. Elementals, the air, and so on. But it boils down to a cute little love story between this guy who is, you know, works for the man, basically, the government, and he gives tickets and so on. He's trying to figure out where this water leak is coming from and what's going on, and he goes into the
he's a water guy.
He's the water meter guy, basically. And
his name's Wade.
Wade.
I loved the names,
I know,
too. The character names were hilarious.
Ember.
Cinder.
Yeah, Cinder, Ember, everything else. And so, anyway, you know, so he's going to basically shut down this. They're like an immigrant family.
Yeah,
and you know,
like a bodega.
They speak with the Fire-ish, and we'll talk a little bit about that in movie news. The Fire-ish, I won't call it a language, but it's more of an accent, and it's really kind of cool what they do. But all of a sudden, the sparks start to fly between the water meter guy and the young woman whose immigrant dad is just determined she's going to take over the business and will
like immigrant families do.
Oh, exactly. Take over the bakery, whatever it might be. It's so clever, the things that they're cooking, literally, and so on. But where this goes, and can water and fire actually coexist and fall in love and interact with one another? It's a sweet little story. I liked it. This is a good, solid 3-star movie for me. Where most Pixar movies for me are 4-star or maybe 3.5. But I really liked the movie. I thought it was fun, and I thought it made some interesting statements, too, without beating you over the head on them.
Well, I thought Propane Doug would have a problem because there were several laws of physics that were violated here. But I kept thinking, it's Earth, Wind, and Fire, not Fire, Water, and Steve. I don't know why that kept popping into my head, but I thought it was cute. It is weird when some of the elements, how are they going to, when they finally do they just make steam? What was that going to be like? So
I thought that was kind of funny, too, because they are literally making steam. And, they're in love. Yeah. Haven't you made a little
I can't believe they didn't steam up a window.
I know.
As like a visual gag without even bothering to explain it, just having it there.
But I thought there was some real creativity in the way the water would flow, different things.
The look of it is just beyond belief.
When you think somebody is going to either go out or dry up, how they come about.
Yeah. No, I thought it was cute. You're right. It's not my favorite Pixar movie, but it's adorable. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. I was entertained. It's just probably not my favorite one.
Yeah. It was funny when my daughter-in-law is quizzing Conrad about it. He goes, well, it was about a waterman and a fire girl. That's basically it.
Yeah. That sums it up.
It's their love story. What did you think, Andy?
For me, I really liked the whole immigrant experience, the way they depicted it. And there's a scene where after her father's explained, what's a high honor, a gesture that they make to each other, and how, well, I don't want to give anything away, but the way it plays out, that was the part where I got a little bit weighty with the eyes. But the visually, I thought the fire was the coolest looking of how they depicted it. Pixar animation just sets the standard, I feel like. And but a good feel-good movie. My 18-year-old daughter said that was the most genuine romance she'd seen in a Disney movie in a long, long time. That was my 18-year-old. And I was really surprised. I don't even know if she was paying attention, but she came out. She's like, oh, that was such a genuine romance. I loved it.
Yeah. Aww. And it was sweet with all the ups and downs and the, ooh, I don't like you. You're shutting down my dad's business. And, ooh, this isn't going to work. And everybody looking down their noses or their water figure or whatever based on your romance.
Well, it's amazing how you can tell a story that gets at things like prejudice and things when you just take what we all look like out of it and you put it's water and it's fire and if fire's walking through near the earth, well, of course they're going to be a little bit skittish and fire's going to be upset when water spills on them. They can take all these situations and you can relate to it, and it can sometimes help take you out of whatever your own thought processes are and think, oh, hey,
isn't that interesting, too, when a little water splashes on the fire people, how part of the flame goes out?
Yeah.
And
they're mad. Wouldn't they be?
Yeah.
Water's pretty dangerous to fire.
To me, it's like making a message film without beating you over the head with a message.
Exactly what I said. They don't pound you and beat you over the head with this. It's just a cute little message about all of our differences and get over it, type thing. Larry, he is the big booker he's the bookie here.
Oh, terrific. Now.
Yeah, that's right. There goes your reputation, as if the movie show doesn't already
I put 20 on the Giants tonight?
Larry,
I think
Sonny,
that might
we've got to
improve
get
my reputation.
We got to get your thoughts on this movie.
This really gets back to Pixar's roots. I agree with everything you guys have already said, that there's great animation. It's beautiful. There's so much for the kids to enjoy, but there's also so much meaning and depth behind the story. It's a love letter to immigrant families. The director comes from a family who also voiced Socks in the Lightyear movie and Ratatouille, Remy's brother. So he's one of their voice actors as well.
Oh,
if you didn't know that,
wow.
but there's so much for the kids to enjoy, and then there's also so much deeper meaning for the adults. And so it's the kind of movie that every member of the family can attend, and somebody's going to get something different out of it, because it's got all those messages about immigrant families, but it also has such a deep meaning of parents and children. The father-daughter relationship in this movie is great. I mean, as I've aged and become a parent, those hit me harder now, and you start to kind of feel the emotion behind them so much stronger.
Well, how many times have we seen that in movies too, where this father or mother, and you are born to continue what they want you to do and what they've worked so hard to do. And that's not so much the case anymore, but it was certainly prevalent when I was growing up.
Yeah, and again, the messages that they're conveying in this film aren't something that you get beat over the head with. So it's a great family film for everybody.
How do you think it's going to do? Especially this week, we've got Flash and we've got Elemental. So, Larry, what are your thoughts on this?
It's a perfect movie for the Utah market, and it's really, unless I'm forgetting something, it's really the best overall family fit films that we've had since Mario Brothers. Because while Spider-Man was an animated film, it really was a superhero movie. That's not always fitting from the 3-year-old to the 80-year-old in the family.
Yeah.
And this one, everyone can enjoy.
And I literally had the 3-year-old, almost 4-year-old, but I had the 3-year-old sitting next to me on this movie.
Yeah, and to hear those comments and those reactions just helps justify what we feel for this movie. And it's not going to be number one this weekend because The Flash is such a big film and it hits certain demographics that will come out and spend more money on tickets. But this movie, will be solid. It'll come in number 2 in the markets, and it should play for a nice long time.
Yeah, absolutely. On that note, we're hitting the top of the hour, and you mentioned you had not seen The Angry Black Girl and Her Monster.
Right. I haven't seen that or The Blackening. That wasn't a slight there. I really wanted to go see it.
Is there a little buzz about them, or can you? Give us
The Blackening is a story about a bunch of people going to an Airbnb, African American group, and they go into a room called the game room, and it's this thing that says, "All right, the blackest person amongst you has to die," and so they're asking each other questions. So it's in your face, but apparently it's extremely well done, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it. It looks like it's a lot of fun, Larry.
I've seen it. It is hilarious. I mean, the tagline on the poster is "We all can't die first." It's really a horror comedy film in the genre of a Scream, and it's highly entertaining if you like that type of a film.
We have 15 seconds. Have you seen The Angry Black Girl and Her Monster?
I did not. I apologize.
Right. This is that Frankenstein movie, though, where she takes her brother and reanimates him in an urban environment. It looks kind of scary, but also kind of cool.
We are 11 o'clock on the dot. Can you believe that? Wow, there goes my reputation. This is KSL-FM Midvale, KSL-AM Salt Lake City. More of the movie show coming up.
It's 11 o'clock at KSL News Radio. I'm Dan Bonas. KSL's top story this hour. Utah's Olympic Bid Committee told a new group of legislators they're prepared to host again, whether it's in 2030 or 2034. KSL News Radio's Adam Small reports.
We reflect back on 2002. We're excited about the future. A reimagined games, a new generation of children who can experience the games.
That's Frazier Bullock, the president and CEO of Utah's Committee for the Games. The Deseret News reports Utah has already filled out most of the mountain of paperwork needed to host. The IOC could announce the 2030 and 2034 hosts coming up in October. Utah Congressman Blake Moore trying to get national park workers more housing options. He tells the Deseret News his new bill, which just passed in committee, would force private contractors to bid for projects, pay some of the costs, and leave the door open to making the housing subsidized. That comes as Utah's national park visitation has jumped 80% since 2011. Our top national story this hour from ABC News. A jury in Pittsburgh found Robert Bowers guilty on 60 counts in the shooting at the Tree of Life Synagogue in October of 2018. 11 people died, 7 more were wounded. ABC's Aaron Katursky has more.
The verdict was never really in doubt because the defense never denied that Robert Bowers actually did it. But these counts hold him accountable not only for the shooting deaths, for the obstructing the free exercise of religion, and also for a number of weapons offenses.
And your money at this moment, the Dow Jones average up 73 points on the day now. The NASDAQ is up just about 4 points. And it looks like a sunny weekend ahead. Our KSL weather coming up. KSL News Time, 11:02.
We have enough people running around Broadcast House at 4 in the morning to field a football team.
Producers, reporters, the traffic team, and us.
This is Tim and Amanda.
Join us each morning from 5 to 9 on KSL News Radio.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2023 Bank of America, N.A.
Wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind, like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
If you've got a honey-do list with electrical, plumbing, heating, or air conditioning projects on it, Any Hour Services can help. Call Any Hour Services, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air. anyhourservices.com.
Hi, this is Clark Ivory with Ivory Homes. 2023 is turning out to be pretty fantastic. We are consistently selling 20 to 30 homes per week, and we've helped hundreds of families and individuals by buying down their interest rates. Visit an Ivory model home today. You can choose from over 200 home designs and customize your plan just the way you want. Make this a summer to remember. The summer you created your own Ivory home.
Want to annihilate payroll problems? Wipe them out with Paycom. Paycom torches timesheet errors like a flamethrower. Oh, obliterates overtime blunders like a wrecking ball. Holy mackerel! And PTO problems? Paycom leaves them pulverized. Wow! Because with Paycom, employees do their own payroll right in the Paycom app. They find and fix errors before payroll submission, so HR can tackle important stuff, like performance incentives and retaining top producers, so your people can crush their goals. And with Paycom, employees enter and manage their own HR info, like onboarding, tax setup, and benefits enrollment. It's all in one powerful software with ironclad security. Stop doing that! Sick of HR and payroll headaches? Don't just eliminate them. Demolish them! At paycom.com.
Traffic and weather together brought to you by Granite Credit Union's high-yield savings certificates. Here's Jason Jones.
We do have
some... Oh, it's Ricky Meese. Excuse me.
Here's Jason Jones.
Yes.
We do have some slowdowns northbound on Legacy Parkway as you're going from Centerville into Farmington. Also, an accident on Mountain View Corridor. This is northbound, right about 3500 south, blocking a right lane of travel. It's Free Frazzle Friday. Visit any participating location to get a 12-ounce cup of Frazzle slushy for free. Go to freefrazzlefriday.com or download the Frazzle app for participating locations while supplies last. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
And KSL weather mostly sunny with highs in the mid-70s, warmer through the weekend. With a high of 90 on Sunday, we could see showers and thunderstorms come back next week. And right now, it's 69 degrees and sunny at KSL News Radio, 102.7 FM, 1160 AM, and KSLNewsRadio.com, your all-day companion for news.
The Movie Show.
Spock, you haven't changed a bit. You're just as warm and sociable as ever.
Nor have you, Doctor, as your continued predilection for irrelevancy demonstrates.
On KSL News Radio.
Hey, I want to remind everybody about the text line where you can join the Movie Show Club. All you have to do is text the word movie to the Cypress Credit Union KSL text line at 57500. Well, Stephen, I think we probably ought to do a little movie news here.
Okay.
You ready? Here we go.
Not just any news.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
Movie news. On the KSL Movie Show.
Okay, movie news, and here we go. Flash 2 could still happen, but it depends on the box office. And, you know, you and I were talking about this, Steve, a little earlier today. The sequel, it all depends on box office, and especially with all the things that are going on at DC right now. Script apparently has already been written that they would use, and it's tracking to open at $75 million. And they're basically saying that if it will do what 2021's The Batman grossed worldwide, about $770 million.
They'd be happy.
They'll be happy with that, so we could be seeing The Flash 2. So it'll be interesting to see. You know, all kinds of plans are underway for a renewed DC universe. And, of course, it'll kick off with Superman's reboot, Superman Legacy, in 2025. So it'll be interesting to see. It kind of, you know, as everything does in Hollywood, kind of all depends on the bucks on that one. And the question is, would a sequel bring back Ezra Miller, since he is, let's just put it this way, just a bit controversial right now?
Yeah, he's had his troubles. But Andy Muschietti, isn't it?
Muschietti, I believe.
He loved working with Ezra Miller. He said, the kid is unbelievable. I will do a movie with him. But speaking of that, Warner Brothers just announced that Andy Muschietti will be helming the next Batman movie called Brave and the Bold, while they also signed him and his producer sister, Barbara, to a multi-year project, any future projects that they might be working on. They are in the Muschietti family. They want to be part of their deal. And they are currently working on the It prequel, Welcome to Derry, for HBO Max. So that'll be interesting.
Okay. Are we ready for another Austin Powers movie?
Absolutely.
Austin Powers 4. Heather Graham has said that she would love to return in an Austin Powers 4. And she said, absolutely, hoping that Mike Myers and the director, Jay Roach, can come back with a great idea. She'd like to play Felicity again. And she heaped praise on both Myers and Roach. She said, quote, I mean, I love Mike Myers. Jay Roach, it was such a special experience to get to be part of the I loved it world. So, you know, who knows?
That was where I first saw her. That was the first movie I ever remember her in. And she was just gorgeous in that movie.
Yeah. Thankfully, you didn't see Boogie Nights.
Roller Girl.
No, I didn't see that.
Roller Girl, yeah.
But I think that came out after Austin Powers.
Wow, I'll tell you, that was an interesting role. So, you know, her movie with Mike Myers was 1999. So, you know, what'll happen? Now, there's been some discussion. She said that, you know, there was a deleted scene from her movie with Mike Myers that, as she put it, would have revealed that Felicity is doing just fine and kind of set the stage for coming back. So the prospect of another Austin Powers, you know, who knows? It's been kicked around. Mike Myers has said, I'd love to do one. Yeah. Well, we'll see. So, you know, who knows? There's nothing definitive, but Austin Powers 4? ?
Henry Cavill, who was conspicuously absent in a recent movie.
Yeah.
Will be in a spy thriller called Argyle to open in theaters. Now get this. This is an Apple TV Plus original film, and they are going to open it in theaters in early February in advance of – they finally figured it out, you know. And they're doing the same thing with Killers of the Flower Moon and the Napoleon.
You know, we've been talking
Ridley
about
Scott.
that forever. Killers of the Flower Moon.
That
is
fall,
a
right?
great,
October?
great book. Yeah, but you know, there have been different things, and we've just plowed through all of the speculation. But I'm really looking forward to that.
But at least DiCaprio's in it, right?
Yes.
It's a great book.
So Apple TV Plus is going to put it out in theaters, and get the star power here. Besides Henry Cavill, we got Bryce Dallas Howard, Sam Rockwell, Bryan Cranston, Catherine O'Hara, John Cena, Ariana DeBose, Dua Lipa, who's the singer, and Samuel L. Jackson.
Wow.
They're all in this movie hoping to make it a franchise. The storyline is he is, at first I thought, oh no, this sounds Bourne Identity. He's a spy, an actual spy who loses his memory, but is tricked into believing that he is actually the author of best-selling spy novels. But then when he finds out that that's not true, he goes after the people called the Division who have turned him whatever. So they're hoping that they can make this into, again, it's the same thing with The Flash. If it does well, they'll make more. So that's what they're hoping for.
Does the name David G. Peterson mean anything to anybody?
No.
He is thought of to be one of the greatest producer of language in movies where it's
Where they
needed.
make up something?
I mentioned like Firish. You know, there's that little accent, little crackles and different things that happen there. Peterson is one of the greatest purveyors of what they call conlang, the universal term for constructed language. And he does it for television and
Did he create
film.
like Klingon or?
No, he did, but he did do Thor: Dark World. He did Doctor Strange. He did Raya and the Last Dragon. He created the languages for Dune and Dune Part 1 and unique sign languages. He's come up with that. He's most prominently known for his work in Netflix's series adaptation of The Witcher and Game of Thrones. There are just different subtleties that show that this is really a different thing that he weaves in while still making it generally understandable. And I was fascinated. He said developing a language for Elemental, for example, he had to be really creative. The language in question that he really worked on was called Firish, for the fire people. It's based on fire sounds that represent Ember's family's native tongue. In other words, it's their accent.
Yeah, I was thinking some kind of a Scottish.
Some of the interesting
offshoot.
things. But he said he literally took sounds that were emitted from a burning fireplace, the crackles, the pops, the hisses, different things like that, and worked it into just the accent. It's not the language, it's the accent to the language.
Crazy.
That really intrigued me. I've always admired people that can do voice work and Mel Blanc and people like that are just so incredible. But this is really an
That's a whole
interesting
different
little
world.
sub-tier of that. Yeah, just
One of those
making
things you wish you could know about somehow when you watch a movie, but you kind of have to watch the movie first and then find out all these little details that enhance.
Well, I'll tell you, the next time I watch this, and I certainly will with my grandkids, I'm going to be listening for that.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I
Yeah.
didn't even know that. I didn't even notice anything like that. I was thinking it was like a vaguely Eastern European accent.
Yeah, sometimes it
originally.
sounds almost a little Finnish in some places.
Yeah.
It never sounded really Germanic to me,
No.
but more Scandinavian, whatever.
But then some of the culture looked like it was from India.
Yeah, it was really, really interesting. So there you go.
That's all I have.
That's all I got, too. So on that note, let's take a – you got anything, Andy?
Oh, well, I mean, it could come up in streaming news. I just know Steve is thrilled that Silo's getting a second season.
Oh, man, am I ever. In fact, the finale is today. And if you have not watched Silo, please. This
On
is
Apple TV.
binge-worthy. Oh, man. You'll get to the end. But thankfully, and this is what really drives me nuts, is when they end a season and then they say, we're done. They're going to have a season 2 of Silo on Apple TV Plus, and it is definitely worth seeing.
Yeah. On that note, brief break. We'll come back with more of the movie show here at KSL News Radio.
If you missed Dave and Debbie this week, you missed this.
He's like, oh, they were just sitting out on the White House lawn.
And if I'm Trump's defense attorney, Dave, I would tell him stop talking.
And this.
The consumer price index up 19%.
Devastating.
And this.
There's no problem that a new law can't solve. That's kind of the joke.
Join the conversation about the day's most important stories with Dave and Debbie 9 to noon on 102.7 FM. Online at KSLNewsRadio.com or ask Alexa, play KSL News Radio.
You know, for so many years, Dee and I have absolutely relied on our Connecticut soft water system in 2 different homes. And you've heard me over the years tout the many things that it does. And some things are obvious each and every day. But some things are not so obvious, like extending the life of your appliances that utilize the water. How about this one? How about the life of your water heater itself? When you think of all of the amazing things that the Connecticut soft water in your home will do, it really is remarkable. It has a 10-year warranty. With the 2 systems that Dee and I have had in 2 different homes, not once have we ever made a phone call to say, hey, what's going on here? Not once. It is amazingly simple, great American engineering that goes into your Connecticut soft water system. And when I say totally non-electric, it is totally non-electric. For example, if there's a little power bump in the neighborhood, maybe, just traditional power outage that happens every now and then, or somebody's doing some work on your home and they have to turn the power off, you don't have to reset a single thing. It has absolutely no dials, no digital readouts, no nothing. The Kinetico soft water system, you can rely on it day in and day out. It's 70% more efficient than anything else out on the market today. Why don't you call my friends there, Monty, Steve, any of the great people at Kinetico? They can help you, even come to your home and explain exactly why you'll see such a difference. Kinetico of Utah, 801-576-8600, or go online, softwaterutah.com.
Hi, I'm Jay Broadbent with Alpine Home Medical, and I wanted to let you know what you can expect when you walk into one of our 10, soon to be 11 stores. This story came to us from one of our many 5-star Google reviews.
I was panicked and needed help. My daughter had a serious family emergency, and I needed to travel out of town, but I couldn't haul my oxygen tanks with me. I needed portable oxygen. I tried several companies, and they all said I didn't have a prescription. I went to Alpine, and they called my doctor. 20 minutes later, I was on my way with a portable oxygen machine.
At Alpine Home Medical, we understand how urgent your healthcare needs can be. We'll do everything we can to exceed your expectations. Let us help you bring wellness home. Visit us online at alpinehomemedical.com. That's alpinehomemedical.com.
Alpine Home Medical, we bring wellness home.
alpinehomemedical.com.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No, we tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our clients' best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we have one transparent management fee structured, so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
At KSL News Radio, we have a 30-year legacy of honoring Utah teachers, but we can't do it without your help. Please tell us about an important teacher in your life on the KSL Teacher Tribute Wall, presented by Cypress Credit Union. Each month, one lucky teacher wins a $500 gift card from Cypress Credit Union, a $250 gift card to Harmon's, plus season tickets to Hale Center Theater. Say thanks to your teacher today at kslnewsradio.com/teacher from Cypress Credit Union and KSL News Radio.
With the three things you need to know this hour, I'm Dan Bomas. First, the committee trying to bring the Winter Olympics back to Utah says they've done a lot of the work already to host a bid in 2030 or 2034. Second, a Utah congressman trying to provide more subsidized housing for workers at national parks. Third, the man accused of killing 11 people at the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh was found guilty on 60 criminal counts, including 20 that could carry the death penalty. Right now, 69 degrees and sunny in Salt Lake City. And back to the movie show on KSL News Radio.
The Movie Show.
Who's president of the United States in 1985?
Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan, the actor?
On KSL News Radio.
We are broadcasting today from the Megaplex Theaters, and we're at Jordan Commons, and another movie show as we have great movies opening this weekend. The Flash we've talked about Elemental. We like them both. And Larry, who books the movies, and I was joking, he's the bookie. You said you got a text from Mom, right?
Yeah. My mom, she likes to discuss the fact that in his heyday, my grandfather was a bookie for a time period. So I got a text from
like
her
a real
listening
bookie.
saying, yeah, you've got the bookie blood in you, just like your grandfather. So.
Except he books movies. You know?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I went a little more legitimate route.
Yeah, that's right. That's what it says on the IRS form, but we all know. Hey, let's talk about what you are booking for the next little while. We've talked about the big movies this week. What are you looking forward to?
You know, the one that's on my radar now, and we've been having a lot of discussions. I've been talking about it with Warner Brothers because they finally have screened final cuts of the movie that I think is going to be really big for everybody, but here as well, is Barbie. I'm really excited to see that one. I
My
love
daughter
the cast
is already
in it.
pestering me to take her to the screening when we go see that one.
You know, and I asked the question because it came out, it got a PG-13 rating. Up until that point, things we've seen, it's like, you know, the writer and the director and the cast of this movie, like, it could lean a little bit more adult. It could lean a little bit more child-friendly. And what they told me after seeing it, they actually had meetings, and Margot Robbie and her husband, who's the producer, were there, and they talked to him about the film. But she said that one of her favorite films growing up was Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yeah.
And that was a great comedy with a lot of there was some innuendo jokes and that kind of stuff, but for kids a lot of it's over their head and the adults can get the joke, but then there's still lots of humor for the younger kids as well, and that's what they set out to do with this film, and they feel like they really accomplished it. So yeah, there's going to be a little bit of edgy humor in it, but it still should be family friendly because it is Barbie. So that one's really high on my list to see.
When does that open?
That opens the 21st of July, yes.
21st of July.
Alongside Oppenheimer.
Oh,
so big weekend all the way around on that weekend.
We mentioned this before, but I am so looking forward to Oppenheimer. There's something about that era. There's something about that story, the angst that goes with it, the race that goes with it, the price that goes with it, and the victory that comes from it makes it absolutely mesmerizing. And kind of, we talk about the space race. Well, there was the nuclear race too, but on the one side, how real was it? And people like Heisenberg and so on, did they really suppress it like they said they did to kind of burnish their reputation afterwards? Or were they just not on top of it and they were more focused on V1s? I am really excited for this movie.
Yeah, me as well. I mean, the cast for that one looks outstanding, and just everything. The story about it. What story are they going to tell us? So
it's really going to be amazing. And we've seen stories about this before, but they don't seem as focused on Oppenheimer and the actual task and the kind of the hell he went through afterwards. Especially so. Yeah.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the return of Indiana Jones. We were just kind of briefly discussing. That's coming out end of June. And I think it's going to be a home run for us. I don't want to say too much about it this early out. But
when the studio rep came out just before we saw the movie, said that the embargo had been lifted. Is that right?
Because they
premiered it at Cannes. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
But they prefer we not say anything until the week of.
Yeah, exactly. And because that's a movie that all of us have been looking forward to. And,
no question.
Everybody is hoping that it goes out on a good note, on a high note.
Getting back to Barbie for a second, have you seen the new trailer with the 2001 Space Odyssey music? And they introduce Barbie to these little girls sitting around in the dirt, and they're playing with these baby dolls, and she shows up, and they're like, throw the dolls away. I'm telling you, whoever's doing the trailers for that movie, they are hitting home runs. Because it looks really fun.
They showed us an extended version / trailer at CinemaCon, and the cast came out and watched it as well, and they were all talking about it. And after it was over, the note that I wrote down in my book was, "This is everything I hoped it would be and more."
Oh, good.
So
isn't that great when that happens? Yeah. Sometimes you'll anticipate something and you go, "Well, I liked it, but too much hype." As you look forward to the fall and even the holiday season, what is just kind of pinging on that for you?
I'm really excited to see the Dune sequel.
Yeah,
that was my favorite movie that year. The first one came out.
Yeah, I mean, and it did huge, despite the fact that it also released day and date with the HBO Max at the time.
Yep.
And so imagine what this one's going to do, building off of the momentum of the first film. The director and the cast at CinemaCon came out and talked about it and told us that the first one was really a lot of exposition and explaining about the universe and the languages and and getting to know the houses and all the people and all that kind of stuff. And this one is really going to take the action and the special effects up to a whole new level. And it'll be exclusive in theaters, so we're really excited to see that one. And I'm also, talking about all the DC stuff today too. We still have 2 more DC titles left to come in this year. Blue Beetle to me looks surprisingly very entertaining. I'm excited to see that. And then we also have the Aquaman sequel that's still at the end of the year. So where's that going to fit into the rebuilt DC universe? So those are a few. And
Not to mention Mission Impossible.
Oh yeah, I mean there's so many great movies coming out this summer, into the fall, into the end of the year. Like it's a great year for film.
It's exciting to talk about it this way, isn't it? To have the pipeline just full of great things that are just ready to hit.
Absolutely.
And things to look forward to and be anxious. That's the magic, is anticipating the film and then being able to go see it on the big screen. Hey, before we'll do a little streaming news here, but maybe we could talk about. I know you're a huge Star Trek.
Oh man, Strange New Worlds, yeah.
Strange New Worlds. How we doing there?
Well, I've seen the first 3 episodes, maybe 4. I can't remember exactly. It's different. I mean, I love the first episode. They're taking it. Like sometimes when the old series would like take 1 or 2 of the characters and they'd go to like Earth during the gangster period or whatever.
Yeah.
There's an episode like that, and I thought, oh, no. So, but I'm sure it's going to get back on track. I love the characters. I think Spock is one of the best new Star Trek characters there are, and Captain Pike is hilarious. So, and Nurse.
If they make a Spider-Gwen live action, if they don't have the girl who plays Nurse Chapel be Spider-Gwen,
she is perfect.
She is exactly what you'd want in a live action.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really excited about it. I've seen the first couple, and yeah, if you've watched the first season, you're going to be into the second season.
Well, still to come on the infamous movie show, we have got the movie show top 10.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Extraction 2.
Yes.
I'm anxious to talk
Which
about that.
Which should have been in theaters. Holy mackerel.
I know. Doesn't that just
That's
kill you?
just nuts.
As I was watching that, I'm just going, this would be so much cooler on the big screen.
How stupid. Why not take that money and then the other money? I don't get it.
Everybody's still going to watch it. They're
Sure.
going to get,
Yes.
views.
They'll watch it again.
Yeah. What do they call it? Views per minute or something? Whatever that Nielsen term is that they use for streaming stuff.
It is such a great action film.
Yeah.
And then we still have the Yogi Berra documentary, It Ain't Over, which for a non-Yankee fan, I was in tears. So that's...
How can you be American and not be a Yankee fan?
Easy.
Even deep down in your
Very
dark
easy.
little heart.
Yankees are love-hate. It's a love-hate for the Yankees.
Even me, Utah's Mr. Sports. Of course, I grew up in that Magic era where it was Mickey Mantle and everybody.
Wow, you need to see this because it is really... I mean, he's such a tender-hearted guy and very soft-spoken, says crazy stuff, but what a player he was. And it's all in that documentary. It's really
Yogi
quite
Berra.
good. Yeah.
Some of the great quotes of all time.
I love when he said, "They turned me into a cartoon bear." Yogi Berra.
I know
That's from him.
Of course it is. All right, it is 11:30 on the nose, Steve.
Okay, what's happening?
It's 11:30 at KSL. We'll be right back with more of the movie show.
It's 11:30 at KSL News Radio. I'm Dan Bomas. KSL's top local story this hour. Rental prices in Utah have jumped 36% over the past 3 years, costing Utahns more than ever. David Eccles School of Business Senior Research Fellow Dejan Eskic says a huge component of rental prices is supply and demand.
We're seeing less construction activity for both for sale and rental units, while at the same time we're still growing.
He says many young adults are also being priced out of the home buying market, increasing the number of renters. The last volume of the Joseph Smith Papers set to come out soon. The papers are a collection of all known documents from the first president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints with historical notes. The Daily Universe reports volumes have been published about twice a year since 2008. The final set will come out on June 27th, the anniversary of the day that Joseph Smith was killed by a mob in Illinois. Our top national story this hour from ABC News. Attorney General Merrick Garland went to Minneapolis to announce the results of the Justice Department's investigation of the city's police department. This was launched after the 2020 murder of George Floyd by a Minneapolis police officer.
The patterns and practices we observed made what happened to George Floyd possible.
The Justice Department working on a consent decree now to end what it says is a pattern of discrimination and excessive force. Your money at this moment, the Dow Jones average up 47 points on the day right now, while the NASDAQ is down 16. And our KSL weather, sunny weekend ahead, it would appear. That's next. KSL News Time, 11:31.
Start your days with knowledgeable, friendly voices telling you about the latest news and weather out there.
Hi, this is Tim Hughes and Amanda Dixon
In the business of waking you up each morning from 5 to 9.
on KSL News Radio.
Don't miss Wait Until Dark, a suspense-filled thriller by Frederick Knott at Hope Box Theater in Kaysville, evenings Friday through Monday through July 1st. Visit hopeboxtheater.org.
The Management Minute is a service of the MBA program in the John M. Huntsman School of Business at Utah State University. I'm Professor Scott Hammond. This is the age of data. We have more data about our health, personal finance, our golf game, our businesses than ever before. The late Peter Drucker saw this time and cautioned, we need more information. Drucker said information is data imbued with meaning. When data is converted to information by meaning, we know what trends we are seeing, why something is important, and how we might change a trend. Don't just gather data for your business. Make information. Information will be your guide. Learn more about how to make meaning out of data in an MBA program from Utah State University. Go to utahstatemba.com. That's utahstatemba.com. I'm Scott Hammond. Hope to see you in one of our classes.
With the economy the way it is, you're probably staying put. So invest in your home, your number one asset, with beautiful custom replacement windows from Advanced Window Products. They're a local Utah company building beautiful vinyl framed and insulated double pane windows for 37 years right here in Salt Lake City. Advanced Window Products will save you money on your energy bill. Get security features to keep your family safe. And at Advanced Window Products, it's all custom. And the best part? They're local. They build the windows, they install the windows, and they guarantee them for life. So there's no middleman markup. You save on the highest quality windows in Utah. Plus, Rocky Mountain and Dominion offer rebates. For a limited time, they offer 60-month 0% financing. And right now, get $2,000 off 10 windows or more. They're working 8 weeks out. So make the call now. Advanced Window Products, 801-850-9100. That's 801-850-9100, or visit AdvancedWindowsUSA.com.
The biggest RV show in the region is growing. The Utah Summer RV Palooza is back and bringing the heat to Sandy, June 22nd through the 24th. For 3 days only, the shops at Southtown will be packed with the largest selection of new and used RVs in the region. Shop brands like Ember, Forest River, Northwood, and more. You'll even find the hard-to-get Go Play 26BH bunkhouse travel trailer at a sales price of only $19,995. But that's not all the summer savings we're serving up. Save up to 20% below cost on select new 2022 RVs. Yeah, up to 20% under cost. We're also offering 90 days no payments on approved credit for all play and no pay until September. Plus, right now, we'll trade anything. Bring your trade to the show and we'll hook you up. Don't miss your chance to enter to win a brand new $30,000 RV. No purchase necessary. See rules for details. All during the Utah Summer RV Palooza in Sandy. Only June 22nd through the 24th at the shops at Southtown. Sponsored by Vicious RV.
Traffic and weather together, brought to you by Granite Credit Union's high-yield savings certificates. Here's Ricky Meese.
The final cleanup of a crash, Mountain View Corridor northbound at 3500 South, is still blocking a right lane of traffic in West Valley. On the other side of the valley in the Holiday and Knutson's Corner area, we have a crash. It's on the on-ramp westbound I-215 South Belt at 6200 South. Make Father's Day easy and get the best gift ever, a blanket or robe from Minky Couture. Shop online at minkycouture.com or any Minky store. Best gift ever, Minky Couture. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL weather, mostly sunny with highs in the mid-70s. Warmer through the weekend with a high of 90 on Sunday. And we could see showers and thunderstorms come back next week. 71 degrees and sunny right now at KSL News Radio, 102.7 FM, 1160 AM, and KSLNewsRadio.com. Your all-day companion for news.
The Movie Show.
You probably think this world is a dream come true, but you're wrong.
On KSL News Radio.
We're broadcasting from the Megaplex Theaters, and Blake, we've had a great time here. We got about another 25 minutes or so of the movie show, and whenever I'm here, I love to be at any of your theaters, but whenever I'm at Jordan Commons, I really feel that this is kind of ground zero. This is the epicenter. This is the mothership, and I mentioned this when we were talking with Gail Miller a little earlier. What you guys have done to keep this on the cutting edge. Nobody would believe this is almost a 24-year-old theater.
Well, I think, that's something that Larry and Gail, the Miller family and our organization, just, they believe if we own something, if we're going to run something, we need to do it right. Yeah. And they give us the investment dollars. I was shocked when we were all shut down during COVID. They said, hey, let's take this time to do some renovations. That's when we gutted the Gateway. I mean,
That's
completely gutted the Gateway and started over there and made it a beautiful theater for the next 20 years, know. And you'll see that now as we go back. And, we've acquired theaters along the way that we're going to go back and update and restore. And it takes time. Everybody's always saying, do my theater next, do my theater next.
Yeah, right.
And we're getting there little by little. I mentioned earlier, Ogden's under construction now, and Geneva will be transforming into full luxury here really soon, and that's a new theater.
Yeah.
So just keeping up with the newer technologies and comfort for our guests is always something we're working on.
Every time I hear about the renovation of the Gateway, I think of like mine cars from Indiana Jones, jackhammers, everything. I mean, there are renovations and sprucing things up. And then there is, it probably would have been easier to totally rebuild that thing.
Yeah, most of the time when we do, like in Ogden, we'll shut down a wing. And when we renovated Jordan Commons with all election, you can shut down a wing and kind of stay open. But Gateway, it was literally just going and wiping out everything and starting from scratch there. And it is such a beautiful theater. If you haven't rediscovered Gateway Theater, you really need to go there. And all the restaurants and the entertainment that's around the theater there on the south end. Gateway is not a mall like it used to be.
Right.
But the south end has turned into be an entertainment and food district, and it's really, really fun. And a lot of things going on there.
It was fun to hear the buzz when Sundance kind of came back downtown to your theaters.
Yeah.
And they were blown away.
They were, and they've committed. They'll be back. They're coming back next year. And Larry and the team did a lot of work to get Sundance for us, and it's just nice to offer that opportunity to people who may not be able to get up to Park City. And you guys know it's getting really crowded up there. It's a neat experience, but it's tough sometimes in the winter to get up there, and so it's really neat to have a venue down here in the city.
Absolutely. Hey, I want to remind everybody you can join the Movie Show Club by texting the word movie to the Cyprus Credit Union KSL text line at 57500.
By the way, I ran into one of our winners from last week.
A wiener?
The Flash.
There are no winners on the movie show. There are only wieners.
Daryl. He was so excited that he got tickets for the Flash.
That's so cool.
And he came up and said, hey, I must have a good seat if I'm right behind Steve Sales. I'm like, well, I don't know about that, but he was really a really nice guy, and I'm glad
really
he came up and said hello.
Yeah, because we gave away, 3 sets of 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was fun.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't say hi to me.
He couldn't. Remember, Doug, when Doug and I sat together in Banshees, and I walked in and went, hello, Doug. He goes, who are you? It was a dark theater. But
it was. And all of a sudden it dawned on me, this is the big
Oh, no. Here we were in the most obscure, strange movie ever, probably the only 2 in the theater, but it was fun.
I know, we were. It was absolutely nuts. Okay, I think it's time for not telephone torture, but something equally as exciting, the movie show Top 10. Here we go.
10, 9.
The KSL Movie Show Top 10.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
By the way, you got to get your horse voice back. You're doing one of those last couple of weeks. At least to sign off, you got to do that one last time.
One more time?
Yeah.
One more time.
Oh, see, now if you say it, he's like, okay.
Yeah, okay. Steve says it. Yeah,
forget it.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, the movie show Top 10 is sponsored by our friends at Call Climate Services.
Yes.
So, number 10 is Past Lives. Out 2 weeks, has yet to break $1 million.
Well, the funny thing is, it hasn't broken here either. It's going to open here
next week,
next Friday. It's only on 26 screens. So.
Yeah, to be in the top 10 on only 26 screens is actually
that's
fairly
actually
impressive.
Not bad.
That is impressive.
Yeah. So, have you seen it?
Not yet.
Okay,
we did.
Oh, Maha, yeah.
Well, how is it, guys?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's interesting.
I liked it a lot.
Okay. Andy liked it a lot, which equates to...
Oh, I can't tell you now because it's next week. Just kidding. I mean, for me, it's like a 3.5 out of 4.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's how much I liked it.
Wow, and Steve concurs. Woo. Okay, number 9 is The Machine. 3 weeks, a little over $10 million.
The only reason I'd see
comedian,
it.
Bert Kreischer.
Yeah, the only reason I'd see it is for Mark Hamill.
Playing the dad. Yeah.
Number 8 is About My Father. I have a really cool apron.
I think I liked it the most out of the three of us because I really thought it was funny.
I did too. I love Sebastian Maniscalco. De Niro. Who knew he could act that well?
I was worried it was
Get
going
that
to be
kid
much,
an Oscar.
People think, well, it's too much like Meet the Fockers or whatever, but it's not. It's totally different.
Completely.
Yeah.
It's about
And it was clean
sometimes
humor.
somebody recognizes De
Yeah, it's
Niro's
clean.
talent.
I know.
Yeah. I think he has a future.
Long overdue.
Long overdue, yeah.
Has he been in other stuff?
What? No.
Breakout star.
Yeah, breakout. Big performance. Super Mario Brothers movie. Again, I'm just giving up on this. To me, I watched it and I went, okay, whatever.
I don't even play video games. To watch somebody else play video games, it's like,
But the Super Mario Brothers fans are out in droves,
See the numbers
Andy.
on-
Hey, my kids all loved
Mine
it.
too.
Loved it.
Well, apparently a lot of kids loved it of all ages because it's what are the domestic numbers? I have 570.
571 as of
Okay.
yesterday, 748 foreign, $1.319 billion.
It's been our biggest surprise hit of the year.
Wow.
We knew it'd do well, but this is just off the charts.
Has it been a killer for the theaters
oh,
here?
yeah. It's just been huge. Still
Okay.
does very well.
All right. Now, I want Jeff V. Whipple pronounces this the way I do. I'm curious. If you were to talk about the latest Fast movie, how would you pronounce it? How would you say it?
I would say Fast X.
There you go. All right, Fast X. But Steven has been absolutely...
It's like Pepto-Bismol. Fast X, what is that?
Well, you know what it is.
He has
It's
been
Fast
bludgeoning
10.
me.
10.
No, it isn't
No.
X.
Fast 10 your seatbelt.
So you're the only one that's keeping
No, it
his
really
mouth...
is.
Okay,
Like the studio even told us.
from
It's Fast 10?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, they said do not say X. It is 10.
Well, everyone says Fast X.
Of course they do. Those who are enlightened and those who are hip and cool.
The
and
studio told you, Andy, what they do? Call you up, Andy?
No, they put it in the email when they're like, just remember this is pronounced Fast 10, not Fast X.
Oh,
They
interesting.
did.
Well, they
but
only-
you know what?
they
There was
only
a
put-
video game years ago, Final Fantasy X, but I thought it was Final Fantasy X till I was loudly corrected by all the fans of it already.
There you go.
But the whole
Loudly.
Megaplex crowd is going Fast X.
That's what we've always
I'm the
called it.
most enlightened person on the movie show, so I'm going Fast X. So these guys...
You've heard of the Roman numeral, right?
Yeah,
Oh, is that
whatever.
what that is?
Yeah. Okay,
I
number
like Star Wars Episode Vi.
Fast
And the later it was Vi.
VI.
Fast X has made about what, $140 million?
140, 521 foreign. The numbers are from the foreign box office. They are
Okay, they're loving
nuts
it.
over Fast 10.
The Boogeyman. I was surprised by this movie, how much I liked it.
I'm surprised that you did like it.
You know, I don't love horror movies a lot, and kind of but this one actually had a plot. It was actually kind of interesting. It
Well
actually
acted.
yeah, and I liked it. There were some subplots that were
And
going
it
on.
proves you can be scary and not be gory and rated R.
That's
it's
right.
a PG-13. You can
That's right.
still scare the pajamas
You
off
could
of
tell
people.
that the guy that made this movie loved good suspenseful horror films.
Yep, absolutely.
And it's done 27 and 15. That's $42 million
Yeah.
on a movie that probably cost $27.50 to make.
Yep. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Other than the peril for animals or perceived animals, I really like this movie. I would not get my wife through this movie with just those kind of sweet little animals that are being experimented upon.
Yeah, Island of Dr. Moreau.
Yeah.
It's just gone over $800 million
Okay.
worldwide.
Yeah. The Little Mermaid. I really like Little Mermaid. I mean, it's not my favorite of all time, but, I've heard of some people whining about what I thought were some ridiculous things, but I really liked it.
Well, it's doing okay. 236 domestic, 186 foreign. It's at 422. For a Disney movie, that's probably a little low.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think there's a few misses with it. It's a little long. They put it, they put the extra song. They play all the normal, the music that
Right.
everyone knows, but then they add a few.
And the darkness of it.
It's a little dark, a
little scary.
little bit scary. Yeah. But it's really good, and it is exactly what it promised to be.
Yeah.
They didn't deviate at all.
How is it done here at Megaplex?
It's done well for us.
It's still been one of our top films since it came out. It's,
good.
It's a shame when people make up their mind before giving the film a chance.
Yeah.
That's my
and
only
Ariel
comment there.
was phenomenal.
She's amazing.
Yeah,
it's worth
great.
seeing. It really is worth seeing.
Absolutely. Number 2 is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. And, wow, I mean, we're in a lot of verses on this one. Chapter and verse. To tell you the truth, I got a little lost on chapter and verse.
But I'll tell you what, taking the animation to another level is just
It's beautiful to
unbelievable.
watch.
Every world was different.
Yeah.
That Lego verse was hysterical.
Yeah.
And it's that quick. You know how long it must have taken them to make that universe and then use it for 5 seconds? That's unbelievable to me. I thought, great film.
For me, I just loved that you feel the respect for the character, so you can have some fun, but not, you're not mocking it, but you can have some fun, but you still love the character, and the rest of the story is so good.
And they gave other characters detail.
Yeah.
Thing that kills me about a movie like this, for idiots, who now are lured into watching all of the credits, just goes on and on and on. The people that it takes to make a movie like that. I was just half joking with my wife the other day. I said, pretty soon they're going to list all of the people that saw the movie. We're going to get credit too. I think that'd be the shorter part.
Well, that would still be playing because a lot of people have seen that movie.
Yeah.
I think this movie has surpassed our expectation more than any other movie this year.
Wow.
It's done really well.
Yeah, it has done loads of money. What's the grand total?
On Spider-Man?
Yeah.
It's at $329 worldwide.
$329. I'm surprised not higher than that.
Yeah, $241 domestic. It's kind of only $88 foreign, which is surprising.
Yeah, that surprises me.
I wonder if it's not hit a few of the foreign box.
Has it been in
box
China
offices
yet?
Yeah, that's the key. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. Transformers, Rise of the Beasts. I'm not a Transformers fan, but I like this movie much more. I was pleasantly surprised.
Not looking forward to this film, to be honest,
Yeah.
and I was also pleasantly surprised.
Okay.
I'd like to thank Michael Bay for setting the bar so low by the end of his run that these have been much, much better.
We've joked about this almost from the very beginning of the Transformer movie. Some critic, I wish I'd been clever enough to say this, said, it's like sitting back watching, car parts in a blender for 2 hours. And
this one wasn't that way.
This one wasn't that way.
And
right.
it's retro, so it's kind of fun to go back. Not too far, but just back a bit.
Right.
And,
Okay, there you have it. The Movie Show Top 10, sponsored by our friends at Call Climate Services. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
This is Derek Miller speaking on business. Promotional products like pens, mugs, and shirts with company logos all help make up nearly $22 billion promotional product industry. Presto Print General Manager Matthew Varanakis shares more about how they are helping businesses create long-lasting relationships through print and promotional products.
Since 1976, Presto Print in Salt Lake City has been providing our customers with what they want: high-quality printed items when they need them and at a great price. Whether you're looking for catalogs, your company logo on a mug or shirt, or need an extensive printed trade show display, we do it all. For example, Presto Print recently provided 250 trifold brochures for a local small business, while also providing 3 million stickers for a large local brand that were shipped all over the country. Our services include full-color printing, signage, stickers, banners, brochures, and much more. We even offer design services to design a logo or lay out your next brochure. We are a family business dedicated to providing you the best service and quality, and we take pride in being your complete source for all your printing needs. Let us show you what we can do for you. Find us online at prestoprint.com.
Presto Print can be a one-stop shop for any customer, large or small, who needs a job done quickly and done right. Visit the Presto Print website to see the amazing variety of products they produce. I'm Derek Miller with the Salt Lake Chamber, speaking on business.
It's Free Frazzle Friday. Visit any participating location to get a 12-ounce cup of Frazzle slushie today. Go to freefrazzlefriday.com or download the Frazzle app for participating locations while supplies last.
Progressive presents Precious Moments.
Nothing beats driving cross-country in our RV.
This is so much fun, Dad. I don't even need to look at my phone.
It's not the destination, it's the journey. Jinx!
The exchange you just heard didn't actually happen, but it could. Bundle your home and other vehicles with Progressive and you could use the savings to make sure that RV is always ready to hit the road. Who knows, your teenager might actually put down her phone for 5 minutes. It could happen. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers.
With the three things you need to know this hour, I'm Dan Bomas. First, renters in Utah paying more for their homes and apartments than renters in most other states. Second, the editors of the Joseph Smith papers say they'll release the last volume in the set later this month. Third, the Justice Department has finished a multi-year investigation of the Minneapolis Police Department. It says it found a pattern of discrimination and excessive use of force. Right now, 71 degrees and sunny in Salt Lake City. Back to The Movie Show on KSL News Radio.
The Movie Show. It's a fake laugh. It's real. On KSL News Radio.
Okay, in the waning moments of The Movie Show, we need to talk about a big action movie that should have been on the big screen.
Yeah.
Boy, Extraction 2. I mean, you would have had as if The Flash, as if Elemental, and if, that was on the big screen somewhere. It'd be nice if it wasn't maybe up against those, but I really like this movie. Let's get a little sound from Extraction 2.
Tyler, you were clinically dead 9 months ago.
But you survived. You fought your way back. You just have to find out why.
We got a contract. You were the client's request.
We gotta move! Right, everyone okay? Kids, you good?
Why did you come back for them? Do you know her?
Boy, talk about a team where nobody will let anybody go. I mean, the old thing, we never leave anybody behind.
Well, the thing that got to me about the end of Extraction 1, he has a kill shot through the neck.
Right.
Falls off a bridge 100 feet into murky water. I'm like, okay, how in the world are you going to explain him coming back unless he got his Thor on somehow? And they do it.
Yeah,
and they do it really well. I thought, okay, that explains it. Thank you. He's, long time rehabilitating, barely survives. And the reason they're doing another Extraction I thought was more intriguing and more personal than the first one.
Well, it's pretty realistic too when he is coming out of it and waking up. It's kind of like, why did you save me?
Yeah, because he was so messed up.
So messed up and everything.
But it's Chris Hemsworth, so
I know
he's tough.
But I really like the movie, as you mentioned. I don't want to give away too much on it, but oh my goodness, the extraction, what they're going after, how it happens, the nuances of it, the challenges of it. But boy, I'll tell you, I'm really getting bugged by the machine guns that are used in movies that never kill anybody.
Unless Nazis on a train.
Yeah, exactly. But, what did you think of this? What did you think of this movie, Andy?
I actually didn't see this one. I wasn't blessed enough to get a screener for it. So I have to watch it like all the regular folks today.
Like a normal person. Have you guys seen it yet?
I've not.
I must be like Tarantino that these streaming movies don't exist in the zeitgeist because I didn't see the first one either. It's like you hear about them and think, boy, those would make great movies for the big screen, and then when do you find the time to get around and watching them? So
they do in this movie what a lot of people have done is that continual shot of an action scene. I think there's like a 12, 15 minutes scene in this movie where he's fighting his way through a prison through like a billion Russians or whatever. They're Chechen or what, I can't remember.
Whatever they are.
But they were cranky and they were unhappy.
Those scenes used to be reserved only for Robert Altman. Do you remember that, where he'd go through that one and, oh, man, it would just go forever. How would you like to be the guy that blew the line on that?
Or Birdman was like that, and then the Snake Eyes with Nick Cage. That opening shot was all.
Well, the recent one, was it Dunkirk? No, what
1912.
was the 1912? That was it. The whole movie is 1917. There you go.
Yeah, 1917.
It's supposed to be the entire film. There's only like 3 or 4 cuts where they were able to stop their filming. So those are pretty cool.
Yeah, those
are
amazing
it's worth
movies.
seeing. I gave it a B+. It's TVMA and violence and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm on a 3-star. I could be talked into 3.5.
It's a Netflix movie.
Yeah, Netflix, and it's official today.
Yeah, it opens today.
Yeah, opens today on Netflix. Anything else we need to?
Well, we mentioned It Ain't Over. That's the Yogi Berra documentary.
Right.
It's really good, and I hate the Yankees. So I just thought...
You hate my Yankees? I am Utah's Mr. Sports.
Please.
Oh,
let's not sell that anymore. Nobody's buying that. So, I mean, but
Is he
more
calling
about
me
his
a fraud?
Yes.
I think he just called me a fraud.
You could at least let him go out on a good note.
I'll wait till
the last show.
Yeah. I got a gift for him that he's going to get a kick out of. But, okay, so It Ain't Over. It's playing in 3 Megaplex theaters.
Jordan
District,
Commons, the District, and Thanksgiving Point.
So if you like, it's baseball season, and take your dad.
Yeah, and I don't think you need to be a Yankees fan
No,
to see it.
absolutely not. In fact, he actually goes and coaches for the Mets, and does some. When Steinbrenner fired him, he was manager. He said he had a whole year, 162 games. Fired him after 16 games, and he sent his assistant down to fire him. And Berra said, "I will never step foot in Yankee Stadium as long as George Steinbrenner owns this team."
Boy, he was a jewel,
and
wasn't he?
everybody,
Wow.
if you're a Yankee fan, you're like, he's the guy. Yeah. How can you tick him off? So that's all in there, and Steinbrenner like, please don't hate me.
Yeah, right.
So it's
Everybody
really
hates
good.
him.
And then we have the Stan Lee documentary.
I was going to say, it's all footage from interviews done with Stanley, because of course he passed away a few years ago. But this new documentary out, all in Stan's voice, from radio interviews, from TV interviews he's done, and seeing. Okay, so he's kind of iconic with his mustache and kind of his mousy mop of gray hair on the top. But when you look at him in like the 1960s, and he's bald and he has no facial hair, and the only reason you know it's him is because of his distinct voice. And so he's talking like, that's not Stan Lee, except for it sounds exactly like Stan Lee. But it goes through kind of his whole rise to the top. I mean, if you don't know the backstory, he created pretty much, other than Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, he created all the superheroes that you love today. Just an amazing amount of talent between him and the artist Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko. Spider-Man, the Avengers, all of them. Fantastic Four, some that people who only watch superhero movies haven't even seen yet. But it's great. It's really, and it even covers some of the tough parts of Stan Lee's career. Like he did have fallout at any rate. But
is
I
the
really
Flash
liked
his as well?
Flash is not his. Flash is DC.
Okay.
But
Yeah, that's DC.
17 years old, though, he was made editor of the whole entire comic book section. Like,
Isn't that crazy?
17.
Yeah.
Hey, we're just about out of time, guys, and this has been so much fun today. Another invitation to join the Movie Show Club by texting the word movie to the Cypress Credit Union KSL text line at 57500. And we love hanging out with you guys at the Megaplex Theaters, Blake and Larry and Jeff the Whipple over there. What a great relationship this is, and here's to making it happen a long, long time from now.
Agreed, and thank you for being here. We love having you guys.
And it was so nice of Gail Miller to come by today.
Yeah, we started the show off right. It just doesn't get better than that, right?
That was a real nice honor.
You can see the spark in her eyes when she talked about the old days and them going to movies. And
Oh,
looking for change. I thought.
Yeah, if you haven't read Driven, that book kind of talks a little bit about those early days of Larry and Gail. Really good book to read.
Yeah, absolutely. And now you want to tell us, of course, at the very end, where these brand new ground up theaters are going
Eureka,
to be.
and then the second will be in the south end of Eureka.
Eureka,
that's a big fat lie. So.
Eureka and Mammoth. Mammoth is just over the hill.
Just over the hill.
Exactly. Hey, thanks so much. Really, this has been a great pleasure. And one more movie show.